yàkùn kúrẹ́dì jẹjẹ sórí ẹ̀rẹ́dì ẹ̀yìn pàápàá nínú ìjọ̀kọ̀ náà nínú àpapọ̀ Yorùbá ayé ọlọ́jọ́ kan tó tọ̀ yìí. One Day Yorùbá World Youth Conference lọ́jọ́ àbámẹ́ta sátọ̀dé ọjọ́ kẹrìndínlọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kẹjọ 2023 kọ́lẹ̀ jẹ́ ipa àti ọ̀dọ́ fún ọ̀dọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Role and the voice of the youth to structure Yorùbá nation bẹ̀rẹ̀ látago mọ́kànlá òwúrọ̀ America Eastern Time tó jẹ́ agogo mẹ́rin ìrọ̀lẹ́ ní UK àti agogo orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tí lórí ìtàkùn ayélujára Zoom ni ó ti máa wáyé meeting ID 33555833292 nígbà tí password jẹ́ 790545. One Day Yorùbá Youth Conference yìí máa fà mí ọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ ojú àwọn ìlú máa gbàgbọ́jọ́ lọ́gbọ̀gbọ̀ ní ó wà kálẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí bàbá wa Emeritus Professor Banji Akíntóyè Yorùbá nation leader oracle of our time Ayọ̀délé Olúwa youth leader in all diaspora ti USA comrade Olúwayọ̀wọ̀ youth leader láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lára àwọn olùsọ̀rọ̀ Honorable Dr. Isaac Obiorun CPMO Director General Dr. Dams Assistant Director láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá Comrade Káyọ̀dé Ẹ̀mọ́lá Assistant Director láti UK Comrade Ọláyọ̀míkòyí AKY láti UK Mrs. Morenika Binti láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá Comrade Ànípẹ́ láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá Engineer Chifuda Ayọ̀gbọ́lá láti USA Mr. Babalọlá Dàda láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bákan náà láti fàkókò ìsọfún ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá gbogbo wípé àǹfààní sísílẹ̀ láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láti jẹ́ aṣojú tàbí ara wa lẹ́yìn ìdẹ́bẹ́ bá wà torí wípé afẹ́kọ̀jà ìkárí ayé ní kòkòjì náà lè darapọ̀ mọ́ pẹ̀lú ìlà lórí ìkànnì Yorùbá World Media orí owó media Koiki Media Yedara Koiki TV Yorùbá Kingdom TV àti gbogbo ìkànnì mìíràn tó sọ̀rọ̀ sókè fún ìjàgbára ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí i tẹ́tẹ́ bàbá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lẹ́yìn ìdẹ́bẹ́ bá wà lẹ́lẹ̀ tàbí kẹ́kẹ́ WhatsApp 234-707-3355 tàbí pẹ́pẹ́ Prophet Ayọ̀délé tí wọ́n jẹ́ youth leader in all diaspora lórí +1-803-846-1116 Yorùbá nation yóò kájà sẹ́yìn ló mọ òrùn sílé. Ìkéde títí látọwọ́ Prophet Ayọ̀délé Olúwa youth leader in all diaspora lórúkọ gbogbo ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá pátápátá. Tó bá ti yàkùn kúrẹ́dì jẹjẹ sórí ẹ̀rẹ́dì ẹ̀yìn pàápàá nínú ìjọ̀kọ̀ náà nínú àpérò àpapọ̀ Yorùbá ayé ọlọ́jọ́ kan tó tọ̀ yìí. One Day Yorùbá World Youth Conference lọ́jọ́ àbámẹ́ta sátọ̀dé ọjọ́ kẹrìndínlọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kẹjọ 2023 kọ́lẹ̀ jẹ́ ipa àti ọ̀dọ́ fún ọ̀kan.
Let me inform you, we anticipate to see you in attendance in the forthcoming One Day Yoruba World Youth Conference, tailored for Saturday, August 26, 2023, from 11 a.m. American Eastern Time, which is 4 p.m. UK and Yoruba time, seeing the role and the voice of the youth structure.
Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive to Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pramtham Senior High School and Ghana Men's.
Conference very remarkable and impactful in our struggle, as many high-profile worldwide personalities would be in attendance, ranking from Baba himself, Emeritus Professor Banji Akíntóyè, Yoruba national leader, also known as the Oracle of our time.
We'll give you £5 free credit to send to.
Just going into the program this evening, it is the Star Radio UK network. My name is Olamide, and I welcome each and every one of you that are joining us from different parts of the world. Well, it's going to be a good evening and welcome as we are just going into the program this evening. I'll be telling you what we're going to be discussing. Star Radio UK network. My name is Olamide, and I welcome each and every one of you that are joining us from different parts of the world. It's going to be one of the interesting part of discussion this evening. I'll be telling you what we're going to be discussing. First and foremost, let me welcome those of you that have joined us on the sister broadcast and those of you that are watching us from different parts of the world as well. As we say, if it's not Star Radio UK, if it's not the community radio station, then it couldn't be anywhere else. So make sure you sit back and let us take you through, the evening tonight. There is a lot to discuss. There's a lot happening in Africa, and I'll be telling you exactly what part of Africa, because a lot of you need to know what is going on in the other side of the globe as well. This is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, and this is how, we're going to be kicking start the event. It is just coming up to 7 minutes past 1800 hours. I'd like to appreciate my producer, Mr. Frank David, and Mr. Archie Amon, working tirelessly every Wednesday to make sure that we can bring these fantastic, program to you every Wednesday. Also, shout out to all our viewers, our listeners from different parts of the world, wherever you're watching us from. I would like to welcome you this evening. Where do we start? Good evening to those of you that have joined us, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear, especially those of you that are watching us on the sister broadcast and monitoring the comment section. Good evening to you as you're joining the broadcast. Maze Good, good evening to you. Olawale Alabi, good evening to you. Triple DRS all the way in Woolwich, good evening to you. And I hope a lot of you are enjoying the weather. If you're very familiar with what we do here on the Star Radio every Wednesday, it's called the Niger Voices, but we talk about the indigenous people as well, the Biafra, the Arewa, the Yoruba, everybody. It seems that Nigeria is going through a lot on the table, but there's something happening in Africa. Most importantly, in South Africa. I'll be telling you what it's all about and what you need to know that is happening in that part of the globe. We are live on Twitter, on the Star Radio UK at Damolamilekan. Good evening to you. Good evening to my mom. Good evening, Mr. Josh, Nectech Electrical. Good evening to you, Mr. Peter. If Nigeria join Brics, Brics will turn into fasting and praying organization. Oh, my Lord. This is how it's going to be. Shout out to my mom, for being there. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my children. Shout out to all our listeners from different parts of the world every Wednesday, every Saturday, every Monday, every Tuesday. Pastor Kumuyi said, we have to keep praying. Pastor Kumuyi, how much more do we need to pray? So there's a lot on the table. There's a lot to discuss this evening, and I'll be catching up with as many of those discussions. But do you love my outfit? If you love this outfit, I want you to indicate, that you love the outfit. I know, the outfit is something that, very, very, very fascinating. I love this outfit. I feel like a newborn baby, and I'll be telling you how you can get yours. If you love this kind of outfit, the African print, we call it the African print. It is called Omitaf culture. This is how, they dress me up every Wednesday. If you want to have something like that, you can have it in a short length. You could have it in a long length. You could get in touch with me and I can connect you. Wherever you are around the world, they can make it to your perfection, and that definitely you will be able to say, wow, especially those of you that wants to look cool, whether in the winter, in the summer. Mr. Ajiboye Najimu, a very good evening to you. Good evening to all our viewers from different parts of the world. I am monitoring the comment section as well. Once again, I would like to appreciate my producer, Mr. Frank David, and Mr. Archie Amon for making sure that every Wednesday we are live on the Star Radio UK network. Once again, good evening to every one of you. Kazim, good evening to you. Mr. Samuel Apolabi, good evening to you. And as many of you that are watching me from different platforms, we will be live in the next few minutes on the Instagram as well. In just about a few minutes, we're going to be live. Good evening to all the Biafra. Good evening to the government exile of the Biafra. Good evening to the APC, the PDP as well. But for once again, if you like this kind of, bespoke tailoring, that will come very nice to you. This is something that was, produced for us on the Star Radio UK on Niger Voices. I don't know whether Archie is going to be a little bit like, how come it is only myself? But I'm sure for now, I would like to say a very good evening to you. Once again, I would like to appreciate every single one of you that have joined us, all over the world. It is the Wednesday edition. Once again, if you want this kind of outfit, If you love this kind of outfit, if you love to feel Africa, if you love to be part of the Brics and you want to travel to South Africa, you want to go to America, the bespoke tailoring, whether you want the Ashoebi, whether you want the custom-made Owambe, whether you want the kiddies, whether you want to wear fashion training, you can get in touch on this particular number. Very, very important. This is where you have to put the number on your phone. Make sure you have this number. You can get in touch with them, and I can assure you they can put the best, whether you are female, whether you are elderly, whether you are big, whether you are small. And I'm telling you, you will look very perfect in it. I mean, I'm sure you see, very, very purple with with like a very nice print. I love the way the hands are. I love my outfit to be very long. I don't know, some of you love it short, some of you love it long. This is what the Yoruba can do in terms of, marketing this kind of print all over the world. We are known for our outfit. One more, but we are known with our kind of outfit. Wherever you are around the world, you can get this from Omitaf Culture, fashion designer, all the way in Lagos State, where they are based. You can get in touch, as I said, with myself, and I will be able to give you more details where you can get this kind of outfit. So if you love this kind of outfit, Triple DRS says it looks very nice on you. Thank you so much for promoting the culture. Bear with us. It seems also that there might be some flick in the broadcast, but we are working on everything to make sure that everything is working very smoothly. Once again, that is about the fashion design, the bespoke tailoring. This is not the one that you go in there, they can make it to perfection for you. Now, let's come back to reality. Let's come back to, Nigeria. I'm sure a lot of you are following what is happening in South Africa. Why are we discussing South Africa this evening? Why is South Africa very, very important in the conversation? It is because South Africa is currently hosting the Brics. What do you know about the Brics? What is your understanding and the role of Nigeria in the Brics nation? Do you think that Nigeria can still perform, in the Brics nation? Also, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about Yoruba nation. There is a lot of things happening this weekend that you need to follow up with. On the Saturday, there is a lot happening. The youth are saying that enough is enough. We are tired of the system, but you need to come together in a youth conference that is coming up in the next couple of days. I'll be telling you more about that. This is being put together by the Yoruba Nation Leaders Office, the CPMO. Cordially invite you to a one-day World Youth Conference. And the theme of that conference is going to be the role and the voice of the youth to the structure Yoruba Nation. This is going to be broadcast on the Yoruba World Media, the Home Media, myself, and all the Yoruba Nation media platforms. It's going to be happening on Saturday, the 26th of this month at exactly 11 a.m. EST time, and that is 4 p.m. local time when it comes to the Yoruba Nation time, or you can say 4 p.m. Nigerian time. So I want you to know that already. Also, I say good evening once again to each and every one of you as we are about to go into the conversation. Brics Nation, what do you know about it? What more can we tell you? Let's go again. Ilana Omo Oduduwa, the Canada chapter, are also coming up with a big event that is also coming up. I'll be telling you everything you need to know about that as well. What do you know about the Brics? What can Nigeria do to be part of the Brics nation? Or can Nigeria be part of this nation and then make any impact around the world? These are going to be the discussion this evening. 16 minutes past 6 p.m. local time in London. The weather is very beautiful outside from the view right here. I say shout out to Dr. Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igbowo, aka Sunday Igbowo. Shout out to Dr. Professor Adebanji Akintoye, the oracle of our time. And we say thank you so much for the love of the Yoruba people. Also, Ilana Omo Oduduwa, or Ilana Omo Odua, the Canada Town Hall meeting is also coming up. This is going to be, can Yoruba survive alone without Nigeria? Ǹjẹ́ Yorùbá lè dá dúró láìsí Nigeria? This also is coming up on Saturday. So this Saturday is fully packed. So as the youth conference finished, we'll be going straight into the what we call the Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà town hall meeting. So this is going to be a very packed weekend. And the question is, can Yoruba survive alone? Ǹjẹ́ a lè survive when we leave Nigeria? This is going to be the discussion towards the end of the program at exactly almost 7:30. So I want you to sit back. I want to read a lot of your comments. I want to see your reaction. Sahid Balogun, good evening to you. All the way in Lagos, good evening to you. Shout out to those of you in Turkey. Shout out to those of you in Cyprus. And I'll say again, as many migrant people are moving from point A to B, there is a fire going on in Greece and is also affecting part of Turkey. 18 innocent lives died yesterday. That is the kind of war that we are living today. Shout out to those of you in Malaysia. Shout out to those of you in Thailand. Once again, if you love this kind of outfit, get in touch with me and I can assure you, you will never regret it. This has been one of my best tailoring fashion designer for a very long time. So most of the outfit you see on Koiki Media or on Star Radio UK, it is done on a bespoke tailoring. So I want you to get in touch with me so that we can connect the dots. Okay? So get in touch with me. And I have something that I might put on before the end of the program. And that one is another very beautiful outfit. We see how that goes. If not, we'll put it on next week. Good evening to you, Mickey, Ijoba, Italy. Good evening to you all those also that have joined us already on the TikTok. My name again is Olami Koiki, and I welcome you once again as we are pushing into it. Alex Mamu, good evening to you. So there is a lot of activities happening this weekend. Also, Save Humanity Media TV, the history of Niger Republic. What do you think? This is going to be coming up by Mr. Bakai. And there will be a guest, Alaja Wasilat Kikelomo. What do we know about Niger? How many of you know Niger? We know that Niger is facing problem with Nigeria and ECOWAS and African Union. Do you think that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and ECOWAS would eventually attack Niger? Do you know her? Alison Madueke, she's now finally going to be answering some questions according to the British government on October 2nd this year. She was one time a very powerful politician in Nigeria, but now it seems that the UK government, after so many years, have decided that there is a case for Alison Madueke to be answered in United Kingdom. She's 62 years old. We cannot say much about her, but I can tell you that according to the NCA in United Kingdom, they have now put the former OPEC president and they are now charging her with bribery offenses in UK. Dezeni, she was a very powerful politician during the Jonathan era. Can this happen in Nigeria? We've seen a lot of cases in Nigeria, but most of these cases have been biased. So the question is, what more can be done as we are preparing the program for this evening? My name again is Olami Koiki, and this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Shout out to those of you in Ghana. Shout out to those of you in Canada. Alison Madueke was a very powerful woman in politics, but it seems that the UK government believes that she has a case to answer. As we say, she has the right to fair trial. She was one time a former head of the group that enables the top oil producing country to cooperate and influence the global oil market. But she has now been charged with bribery offenses here in United Kingdom. Dezeni Alison Madueke was the ex-president of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, a key figure in the Nigerian government for 5 years until there was a change of government. Once again, this is
broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
You broadcast it 24/7. According to what we know, the NCA suspect that she accepted bribes during her time as a minister for petroleum resources in Nigeria in exchange for awarding multi-million-pound and oil gas contract. She's 63 years old.
Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
We are talking about £100,000 in cash, chauffeur driver, flight on private jet, luxury holiday for our family, and the use of multiple London properties. That is all I can tell you, and I'll be giving you more about that towards when the case will be coming up in the next couple of months. Alison Madueke has now been charged in the United Kingdom. Let's go back to the Brics. What do you know? How many countries are representing the Brics? Do you think that Tony Blair will make any difference? 11 years ago, Tony Blair actually said something, and it seems already that is having a big impact in Nigeria because there is religious problem in Nigeria. But 11 years ago, this is what Tony Blair said, according to what we know. Tony Blair told us the potential for conflict between different faiths and community in Nigeria is likely to happen. Tani Olohun Ìṣẹ̀ṣe guys, Yoruba Muslim, or do we say those that are having a different kind of ideology, Islam? Should we be concerned as Yoruba people? Should we be concerned as Nigerians for those that still believe in Nigeria? These are all the discussion tonight. Good evening once again, Alex Mamu, Oladimeji Muyideen, good evening to you. Mr. Bamidele Aliu, good evening to you. Once again, shout out to my beautiful mom. Do you think that the potential for conflict between different faith and community is already almost exploding in our eyes? What can this government do to make a big impact? Can Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, make any changes? These are all the questions. Is it possible that we will be seeing net changes with this government? According to Kumuyi, Kumuyi says that we should pray for our leaders. Do you think that praying will solve the problem of Africa? As the world is now looking very close to what is happening right now inside South Africa, it seems that many countries are saying enough of the dollarization. We need to start changing. It is having a big impact. I've been listening to the president of the Brazil, and so many that we'll be discussing tonight. Once again, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
On your smartphone.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
In your car.
At work.
You can listen to us in your car, you can listen to us on your apps, you can listen to us on all the platforms, but the best way to listen to us is to make sure you download our apps on the Star Radio UK, on the Play Store rather, or you can go to www.starradiouk.com. Good evening and welcome to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Once again, my name is Olami Koiki.
Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
And if you're joining me for the very first time, this is the way I welcome you as we go into the program. Shout out once again to my beautiful mom. Shout out to those of you that have joined us. Mr. Lakeside Okumoleru, good evening to you. Ismaila Bakari, good evening to you. And now let's come into the reality. Where is Nigeria when it comes to the Brics? What do we understand by the Brics nation? What do you understand by the Brics nation? There is a lot happening as we speak right now in South Africa. The whole world is focusing just before the G20 that is going to be taking place in Brazil. Do you think that the Brics is now challenging the G7 and likewise the G20? Are we seeing the emergence of a new nation, a new economy of different countries that are pulling their resources together, and they might likely change how we operate around the world? If I need to do a business around the world, you are likely to use the dollar. But today, it seems that is going to be changing. What is your take on that? Once again, my name is Olami Koiki, and I welcome those of you that have joined us from different parts of the globe this evening, and let us sit back and let us enjoy the conversation. The Yoruba nation struggle continue. I'll be telling you everything you need to know when it comes to the Yoruba nation this evening. Mr. Solomon Adedoyin, very good evening to you, my brother. Shout out once again to those of you in Nigeria Mr. O. Albert, good evening to you and welcome. My name is Olami Koiki. What do we understand by the word BRICS? B-R-I-C-S. That is the acronym of a full meaning that I'll be telling you right now. B stands for Brazil, R stands for Russia, I stands for India, C stands for China, and S actually stands for South Africa. But it seems that more countries are now interested to be part of the BRICS nation. How many countries want to join the BRICS nation, and do you think that is going to make any changes? Can we see this new set of countries? The emerging economy is called. What is the role of Nigeria in this whole conversation is the question tonight. Do you think that Nigeria can make a big impact into the BRICS nation? I want to read your comments. Do you think that Nigeria can add a big value to it as well? This is the question. Mr. Bamidele Aliyu, a very good evening to you and welcome once again. As I say, there is a lot of things that we need to discuss tonight, but my question is, what is the role that Nigeria should play when it comes to the BRICS nation? This is the question. Many Nigerians might not know what is happening in South Africa because Nigeria has its own problem when it comes to the economy. If Nigeria was truly a country, Nigeria should be leading the BRICS nation. But unfortunately, as we know, Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is a country with multiple countries inside, locked together in 1914 amalgamation. And that is why it is proving difficult for Nigeria to progress. For 8 years of the former President Muhammadu Buhari, we can now see the shenanigans that took place in that government. We saw the corruption, just like we have seen those corruption in the past. The PDP were in government for 16 years and we could not see anything that was achievable under that government for 16 years. It seems that the APC is going through the same thing already. APC had 8 years already under the leadership of the former President Muhammadu Buhari. It was a wasted journey. How many of you still think that Nigeria can be a role model to African countries? It seems already that there is a tension going on within ECOWAS and African Union. African Union is saying that we are not going to allow a military intervention in Niger, but we are going to suspend Niger. Do you think that Nigeria is still part of the Africa that have the voice? I was expecting to see the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu traveling into what we can call the BRICS conversation that is currently going on. But it seems that the president is too busy with so many other activities as some of his ministers have now been put in place. After 84 days, we now have ministers that are going to make the country to move forward. What is your take? Let me read your comments. It seems that the Wagner group leader is already in Africa. I don't know whether he's in Niger or he's in Mali or he's in Burkina Faso, but I saw the video of the leader of the Wagner already in Africa. Do you think that ECOWAS will eventually attack Niger? Let me tell you what we know so far when it comes to the BRICS. Already, I saw the Vice President, Shetima, according to the State House. Shetima is representing the President and the Federal Republic of Nigeria in South Africa. Do you think that Nigeria should have played a bigger role when it comes to the BRICS? Because we thought that Nigeria would be an emerging economy, but it seems that Nigeria cannot be an emerging economy when we have multiple nations in one country. That is the Vice President. What do we know so far? According to the State House press release, the 15th BRICS Summit, that I'm still going to explain to you the meaning of BRICS. Once again, B stands for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, and S for South Africa. The BRICS nation. What do you understand by those words? Once again, shout out to every one of you on the platform this evening. And if you're joining me for the first time, once again, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
On your smartphone.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. In your car,
At work.
at home,
On your smartphone. Right, online 24/7. Worldwide online 24/7.
in your car,
At work.
at home.
On your smartphone.
And I say good evening once again.
The best radio show.
I say once again,
The best radio show.
every Wednesday on Niger Voices, but tomorrow is the property hour. But for tonight, it's all about the Star Radio UK, and we're discussing the role of Nigeria in the Brics nation. When we talk about Nigeria, many countries in Africa believe that Nigeria has failed as a country to the continent. Many African countries believe that Nigeria should have performed much, much better, but we cannot even tolerate each other when it comes to religious tolerance. So when many Nigerians travel to Cote d'Ivoire, when they go to Benin Republic, when they go to Sierra Leone, when they go to Libya, those countries are asking, why are you coming to my country? You should be in Nigeria because there is a future there. But do you think that there's a future in Nigeria? Do you still agree that we have a future in Nigeria? And if we have future in Nigeria, how do we manage that future, especially with the current situation going on today? This is what Professor Lumumba said about Tony Blair. Let's listen to this, and I'll come back again into the conversation. Once again, this is Star Radio UK.
The British have never faced justice. That is why they still run around the world pretending to tell us what to do. You know, one of the most painful statements that I ever heard in my life was from a former British Prime Minister, Tony Blair, when he said that Africa is a scar on the conscience of the world. How dare he? It is because we have never asked them to answer for their atrocities. The day they do, they will know that we are truly hungry.
Do you think that the British would accept the situation with the Brics? Do you think that the British government is looking closely? Do you think that the American government is looking closely? Putin could not travel to South Africa because if he does, he's likely to be arrested because South Africa has the mandatory to arrest him under the request under the International Criminal Court, ICC. Well, Putin refused to attend in person, but Putin attended through the video conference. And I'll be telling you what Putin has said. But let's go back to the Brics. Brics is a grouping of the world economics of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, formed in 2010, addition of South Africa to the predecessors. Why was it not Nigeria? Why was it South Africa? Do we now say that South Africa is literally leading Africa as against Nigeria? Do you think that Nigeria has failed Africa? What is your take on that? We know that the vice president is representing Bola Tinubu, the president. Do you think that the president should have attended rather than sending the vice president? Why is it that South Africa is now outshining Nigeria? Is it the reason that some of you know? Put it in the comment section and let me read that to other listeners in different platforms. Senior Evangelist John, I say good evening to you and welcome. Olatunji Toiba say Yoruba nation is the only way. Lobatan. Larry Lamina, good evening to you. Mrs. Taiwo Kike, good evening to you and welcome, Mr. Bamidele Aliu. Once again, my name is Olami Koiki. Mr. Albert said the vice president has been sent to South Africa, possibly address and discuss Nigeria membership. Thank you so much. So Nigeria is still trying to find its membership in the last how many years now that Brics have been in existence since 2010. Why is it taking so long for Nigeria to be a member of Brics? Good evening, Toby Iwaloye. Mr. Boye said, well, if ECOWAS goes to war with Niger Republic, the journey of liberation will be manifested. Do you believe that as well? Shout out to those of you on TikTok. I am actually discussing tonight Brics. I would appreciate if the studio could make the comment section of the link to the YouTube to be open for those that might want to put comments inside as well. Thank you so much. Once again to the sound engineer and those that are working behind the scene. Let's go back to Brics. Why is it taking Nigeria to become a member of Brics? Or should we say, the vice president is now going to be putting everything that we need to do to become a full member. Nigeria membership of Brics. This is an editorial last year, August. What do we know? Nigeria may not have expressly shown her interest to be a member of Brics. Is it because Nigeria still want to keep with the West rather than with the Brics? We know that membership has a lot of requirements. But why is it taking so long for Nigeria, the most populous black nation in the world, but the poorest in Africa? Why is it taking so long to be a member of Brics? In 2022, this is what The Guardian wrote. Nigeria may not have expressly shown her interest. Does it mean that the vice president will be showing interest with this new government? Why is it that 8 years of the former president Muhammadu Buhari, there was no interest of joining the Brics? I want to read your comments. Once again, good evening to you, Pastor Mo. Wagner boss has now bought on board crash jets. Oh, it looks like there's a news coming up there that we need to pick up quickly. I'm just getting that. Let's say more on that. Once again, there's a lot happening, and it seems that Wagner boss have been told. It seems that there's something happening, and let's see if we can pick the news. Once again, a very good evening. Graphic seen from the side of the crashed plane supposedly belonging to the PMC Wagner in Tver region of Russia. Yes, I can see that. Who is in there? We don't know yet. The second private owned by Prigozhin. But let's see and hope that he's not part of those. Wow, it seems that is coming up as a breaking news. I can tell you that that is now the leader of the Wagner has been killed in a plane crash. Wow, that is a breaking news that is just coming on the screen right now. I can confirm that. There's a breaking news coming out right now. The leader of the Wagner PMC group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has been killed in a plane crash around Tver region of the western Russia. The world is becoming unstable. That is the breaking news on the Star Radio UK, Niger Voices. That is just coming. Thank you so much. I can tell you now that there is now a confirmation that the leader of the Wagner group has died. Once again, this is just a news that is still filtering through. And as I speak to you right now, there is a lot happening. But right now, from the news coming to us on the thread, on the wire, I'll be getting the image very soon. The producer are working on that. But it seems that there's a plane crash that has literally brought down the leader of the Wagner group. As I speak to you right now, yes, the news is already filtering through. There's a plane crash and the leader of the Wagner group have now died. Interesting time ahead in the history of the world that we are living today. Well, we can only say may so rest in peace, and we hope that there will be more stability than instability, and that is the individual that we're talking about. I'm sure a lot of you have seen a face somewhere, or you must have heard about him, as they are a private security firm that are working in Bakhmut in Ukraine, that we just saw some few months ago. Almost 8 months they were fighting heavily there. But I can now confirm officially is now in the news. The news is now all over. The Wagner leader killed in a plane crash near Moscow, Russia. That is the latest update. It is a breaking news coming from the Star Radio UK. Once again, a breaking news. The leader of the Wagner have died on a plane crash near Moscow. What is your reaction on that? Just raising, say yes. The leader was said to be listed among those in the jet that crashed between Moscow and Petersburg. Do you think that we should be start worrying? official says the Wagner chief behind the June mutiny was on the jet that crashed in the Tver region, killing all those 10 on board. Again, Yevgen, the Wagner paramilitary chief who launched an army mutiny in June, was on a private jet that crashed in Tver region near Moscow, killing all the 10 on board, according to the Russia official. I don't know what is going to be the reaction, but as we say, many people die, but individual like this died. We don't know what is going to happen. That is the breaking news. Everybody is been talking about this in the last 30 minutes. And yes, I can see the video of the jet as it is crashing down with all 10 on board have now died. What is your take? However, there's no confirmation yet. It was actually in the jet in person, okay? Well, we will have to wait and see. But it seems that all the news speaking the story says the Wagner boss was in that particular private jet. But we will have to wait more whether it was there or not. But it seems that that is the news already. We saw a video of him just some few days ago, less than 48 hours, indicating that he was somewhere in Africa. Maybe he was making his way back to Russia, but it seems that that is exactly what has happened. Let's come back again to the conversation. I'll be monitoring that. But like I said to you right now, it seems already there is also the video of the jet as it was dropping all the way down. That was captured on the camera. As you can tell, everyone is now a news reporter, and you are likely to see images or videos of incident as it's happening. Especially, many people might not know who is in that aircraft, but as we do know now, it seems already that the Wagner chief jet was shut down in Russia, as many different stories will be coming around it, but I'll be telling you more about these as well. The Russian air defense caught on camera shooting down private jet belonging to Wagner. Well, many people will be saying different things, but let's be very careful on what we are going to be saying as well. But for now, let's come back to the Brics, where we are discussing the updates on what is going on in the Brics. I'll be giving you all the other updates on the Wagner boss later. But for now, let's return to the conversation where we started. This evening is now just about 15 minutes before 7 p.m. local time in London. As we say, it is the Wednesday edition. Every Wednesday, it is called the Star Radio UK, where we look up to what is happening in Nigeria, what is happening around the world, and why Nigeria is not playing the role we expect it to play for a very, very long time. Once again, thank you so much to my beautiful mom. Thank you once again to all our listeners and those of you that are monitoring the current update on different things happening around the world. Once again,
Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
Once again,
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
we were actually discussing why Nigeria is not part of the Brics. So last year, there was a report or an article on it. Nigeria may not have expressly shown our interest to be a member of the Brics, a coalition of 5 countries motivated to work together for what we call the rapid development purposes. But it is clear that such a membership will be of immenent benefit to Nigeria, in addition to signposting her as a respectable force in the country of nation. Why has it taken so long for Nigeria to be part of these Brics nation? However, that imminent desire to be realized requires Nigeria to up our social, economic, political ante well beyond present below par level. Increasingly, the global order is inclined into the center one, but in other words, multipolar world order is emerging amid the illusion of an American century. Other great powers in the international system are contesting the post-Second World War and the post-bipolarity global order, and is oppressive and demurring dynamics. Countries like Brazil, China, India, and Russia are some of the key players in the emerging economy or the emerging nation. So, but why is it taking so long? My Jeff Fakir, good evening and welcome to the program. Mr. Boye went on to say the Western world are working for the good living of their citizens, while Nigeria are suffering of their citizens. God help us in Yoruba land. Keep the comment coming and I'll be reading them out as well. Once again, Just Reason say political abracadabra. Pastor Mo says 7 persons and 3 crews. Now, wow, it seems already that there's going to be a lot happening around the world. Let's continue with the Brics, and while Nigeria is not a member yet, they have rallied themselves into the concept of economics power to rival the Washington consensus of the West. In 2009, the impulse was given concrete expression with the formation of BRIC, which is Brazil, Russia, India, and China, an acronym for the global leading emerging market that include Brazil, Russia, India, and China. It was later expanded to BRICS with the ascent of South Africa to the group in 2011. Why has it taken so long since 2011 for Nigeria to have been part of the BRICS? The question I want to know from the comment section. Why has it taken Nigeria that long to be a member of the BRICS? Good evening once again to each and every one of you that have joined us. Good evening to you, Ijaya, Akim Ayodele. Good evening to you, Mrs. Flo Yetunde Talabi Aina. Good evening to you, Yusuf Ojumola. Good evening to you, Yoruba Ni. Good evening to you, Mamawa Oladapo Tony Shola. I say good evening to you, Grandmom, and welcome to Star Radio UK. Why has it taken so long that Nigeria is not part of the BRICS nation since 2010? South Africa was a member in 2011. The BRICS aim is to promote the following. Once again, my name is Olami Koiki, and this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Every Wednesday, you can join me here where we discuss what is happening in Nigeria, but also with the indigenous people. I'll be telling you everything you need to know what is happening over the weekend. And at exactly 7:30, an hour to 8:30, we're going to be speaking in Yoruba, where it's a sponsored program from Ilana Omodua under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye, the oracle of our time.
UK. This is Star Radio UK. In your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7. In your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone.
The best radio show. The best radio show.
I say good evening and welcome once again, and let's come back into the conversation. Once again, my name is Olami Koiki, and as I continue to give you all the latest updates, the breaking news, like I say, the leader of the Wagner seems to have been affected in the jet that crashed, and we pray for the soul of the departed. Now, let's come back again. Why is it taking so long for Nigeria to be part of the BRICS? This is an ongoing event in South Africa. I'll be telling you what we know so far in the next few minutes, but I'm still giving you the background to BRICS and why Nigeria is not part of it as well. Why is it taking so long for Nigeria to be part of this particular organization that have the interest of a new world order? So why is the meaning, what is the aims of BRICS? The aims is to promote peace, security, development, and cooperation free from the strictures of the global hegemonies built around the trilateral power of United States, Japan, and the West, Europe, with the view to contributing significantly to the development of humanity, establishing a more equitable and fair world. China is the second largest economy in the world. Brazil is ranked number 6 largest economy. Russia is currently number 9 biggest economy, and South Africa is ranked number 26 largest economy, most industrialized in sub-Saharan Africa. You can see why Nigeria is not in that bracket. Almost everything Nigeria is using is imported into the country. There's no industry. But we have other industry like the churches, the mosque, gigantic churches and mosques across the country, but yet we have less production of goods and services for the use of 230 million people. The group share of global output is estimated to reach 1/3 by 2030. That is just less than 7 years from today. It also accounts for about 17% of the world trade and has a combined foreign reserve estimated at $4 trillion. Nigerian foreign reserve is not even up to $10 billion as I speak to you today. The question then to those of you that are watching tonight is, can Nigeria catch up with Brics, or are we seeing the end of the most populous black nation in Africa? Once again, a very good evening and welcome to those of you that have joined us. Let me take that again. The reason why Nigeria is not part of the Brics is also because Nigeria is not an industrialized nation. And I think I have something to back that. I was actually listening to one of the analysts on the Twitter back in Nigeria, and let's see if we can get that out to you. Many Nigerians expect a turnaround from the new government, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but the question is, can this turnaround happen in 4 years of this government? Can Bola Ahmed Tinubu literally make any changes with the new ministers appointed, or will Shetima make an impact to the membership presentation of Nigeria with the Brics? Once again, Nigeria and Nigerians are asking tough questions, but we are finding it difficult to get the answer. This is what Pastor Kumoye of the General Overseer of Deeper Life Church had to say about the new government.
Those ministers that have been chosen in the cabinet, they are not new people that have never done anything. If you look at them one by one, you'll see the good things they've done. If we support them, if we are not, criticizing every step and they don't know where to start, if we accept them and we believe that God will work through them, He'll use them as instruments to build our nation, let's forget the past. This is a new day. And I believe, and we all believe, we're going to see new things for our country, through our president and through the members of the cabinet. Good things will happen.
Do you think that the Pastor Kumoye is right? We should give time, we should support the government, especially the ministers. Why is Nigeria not part of these? Also, Yonkan Yoruba Nation Christian Association, on Friday, the 25th of this month, having what they call the rekindle power of unity towards the Yoruba Nation National Treaty Remembrance Day. And that is going to happen at 7 p.m. local time this particular Friday. I'll be telling you more about that. When it comes to production, do you think that Nigeria can come back up quickly to support the industrialized nation, to support other African countries? Do you think that Nigeria has the zeal with the new government to push with the new ministers after 84 days? Do you think that Nigeria can up its game and be part of the global economy, especially the Brics? I'll be telling you more of all these, but for now, I am asking the question again. Is Nigeria ready? El-Rufai is sending a strong message to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There will be a civil war if you attack Niger, and the question is there already a war in Nigeria that El-Rufai was trying to protect? Because we know that in southern Kaduna, many Nigerians have been killed while he was the governor for 8 years. I'll be telling you everything you need to know about that. Once again, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we continue to monitor everything we need to know around the world. I'm asking again tonight, are we ready as Yoruba people to exit Nigeria? What should we do more? At 7:30, I want you to join me tonight when I'll be discussing everything we need to know on that. Shout out to those of you that are watching us. Good evening to those of you that are joining us. And welcome once again to Mr. Adebayo King. If you love this kind of outfit that I'm putting on, I'll be telling you what you need to do and how you can get it by getting in touch with me. And you will be able to find out who and how you can be part of this very beautiful kind of outfit that I'm putting on right now. Once again, my name is Olamiko Ike, and I welcome those of you that have joined us around the world. As we are preparing for the Yoruba rally in United Nations General Assembly, the question again is, can we literally say that the Yoruba rally is meant to come up as quickly as possible? Because as many people are saying that it seems that the Yoruba nation is quiet because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Do you agree with that? Do you think is the right word? Once again, as I prepare you into this conversation, I'm asking you again and again, are we ready as Yoruba people for what is about to happen in Nigeria? Is Nigeria about to make changes? If you love this kind of outfit that I'm putting on, I can assure you that there is someone that can make it to your own taste, to your own perfection. Get in touch with me so that we can connect you, so that you can look very cool and you can look very good as well. These are not too expensive, and I can tell you that Omita culture can make what exactly and how you want it, whether you are female, whether you are a male, whatever kind of outfit you want, wedding, birthday party, just get in touch with me and I'll connect you to Omita culture, where they will make it to your own taste. We all have different tastes. I love mine to be as a very long length, very beautiful, and I kind of love the kind of different buttons, especially as a male, you have to keep putting on and off. So if you want to know more about this kind of African print, get in touch with me and I will be telling you more. You can send an email on musakalam@gmail.com or info@koikimedia.com, or you can reach out to me on this number +44 74 04 405917. Once again, the number is +44 74 04 405917. And whether you are preparing for this magnificent birthday party, or you are just going to be doing a naming ceremony, or you have a wedding to attend, or you have a big event like the African fashion show is coming up in London, maybe you want to look very different. You don't want to wear the same kind of outfit like anyone. You want it in your own design. Get in touch with me, and I can tell you that Omita culture will make it to your own taste. We come back to that. As we are now just about 1900 hours, now let's go and listen to what the world is saying when it comes to the Brics. What is the reaction? There's already reaction about the leader of the Wagner on the social media is currently trending at exactly almost 53,000 in the last half an hour. But that is not where we are going tonight. Where we are actually going is still that we still have the security in Nigeria. 8 members of the Nigeria Youth Corps were kidnapped in Abuja. It seems that the defense minister is now giving a timeline to clear the bandit and the terrorism happening in Nigeria. Do you think that it can happen in 4 years to reduce the amount of terrorism in Nigeria? Once again, these are all the questions that many Africans are asking. Why is Nigeria not doing what it's meant to do? Ganiolo Yede said, we are ready. Mr. Peter Pan said, Nigeria, imagine the respect you give these so-called mug. If only you gave 25% of such respect to teachers, the real nation builders today, teaching in the zoo is seen as a poor job. Just reading say, when you see the component of what they use to make most machines, then you feel so sorry for Nigeria because of the brains at home and how much they are utilized. Aziz, all the way in Miami, good evening to you. Good evening to you, our beautiful mother, Titilola Shaw. Good evening to you, Aziz, Alaja, and Alaji on the network tonight. I say good evening and welcome once again. Do you think that Nigeria is ready to be a full member of Brics? What is the Vice President doing in South Africa? Is the Vice President going to make a big impact? This is the statement coming out from the State House press release, as we know that the Vice President is currently in South Africa representing the government at the Brics Summit 2023. As I've been following the Brics, there's a lot going on, and let's see if we can catch up to the Indian Prime Minister Modi speaking right now. We know that the Indian have just landed what we call, landing on the moon. I don't know whether some of you have seen that already. But let's connect to what is happening in South Africa in just about a few minutes. Once again, this is Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's go to listen to what is happening there.
International Big Cat Alliance, we can make joint their protection. My fifth suggestion relates to traditional medicine. All our countries have traditional medicine ecosystems.
And that is the Indian Prime Minister Modi speaking at the 2023 Brics, as it's still ongoing today.
Excellencies, under South Africa's presidency, countries of the Global South have been given special importance in Brics. We heartily welcome this. This is not just an expectation of the present times, but a necessity as well. Under its G20 presidency, India has given this subject the highest priority. Based on our core value, one earth, one family, one future, we are making efforts to move forward together with all countries. In the Voice of Global South Summit organized in January earlier this year, 125 countries participated and shared their concerns and priorities. We have also proposed permanent membership for the African Union in the G20. I am confident that all BRIC partners are also together in the G20 and that all will support our proposal.
So what you're listening to is a live transmission all the way in South Africa. Let's speak a little bit more, but I can confirm that China, on the right side of history, China will continue to pursue independent foreign policy, and at the same time will build a common future for the mankind. That is coming from the President Xi Jinping said. He insisted that Beijing stand on the right side of history. Do you think so?
And we welcome moving forward on this based on consensus. In 2016, during India's presidency, we had defined BRICS as a group building responsive, inclusive, and collective solutions. 7 years later, we can say that BRICS will be breaking barriers, revitalizing economies, inspiring innovation, creating opportunities, and shaping the future.
Do you think that Nigeria can be part of this shaping of the future? That is the question tonight as we continue to monitor what is happening. Russia Unite Brics, its role will strengthen in the future, according to experts. According to Gregory Clark, giving a strong secretariat, Brics could easily replace the group of 7 or the G7 as we know them, or the G20. Do you think that this is going to be a kind of a challenge with the new superpower, with the Brics, with about 14 trillion when it comes to their foreign reserve, joined together? Where is Nigeria in all this is a question that many Nigerians are asking tonight. But let me tell you where Nigeria is, because the Vice President Shetima is also in South Africa. And this is what the press release coming from the State House told us some few hours this morning. According to the 15th Brics Summit, President Tinubu, very passionate about empowering medium, small-scale businesses, says the Vice President Shetima, that is attending the Brics trade fair. President Bola Tinubu is very passionate about empowering micro, small, and medium enterprise. for development of the nation's economy. I don't know why he's going to do that. A country that doesn't have 24 hours electricity, a country that cannot communicate when it comes to the internet. I cannot do a good business from Nigeria because the internet services is very, very poor. Do you think that Nigeria under President Bola Tinubu is passionate about empowering micro, small and medium enterprise, MCME, for development of the nation economy? This is what the Vice President Shetima is actually saying in South Africa. According to the Vice President, it is a known fact that the empowering of micro, small and medium enterprise is a key to empowering our youth. About 60% of Nigerians are youth, and those 60% are not likely to get a job according to the KPMG this year. If you cannot get a job, can you set up a business? Can you empower micro, small and medium enterprise? Many Nigerians want to be enterprise, but the question is the policy, the 2-digit to get a loan. You are not likely to be given a loan apart from loan from these shaku loan that are now making pressure for many Nigerians. If you love the kind of outfit that I'm putting on, get in touch with me. This is being designed, tailored to my own specification by Omita Culture. And I can give you all the details if you get in touch with me on this number, plus 447404405917. I'm still telling you what the Vice President messaged to South Africa. The Vice President stated this today when he spoke with journalists during his tour. While other countries are working together to build the Brics, Nigeria President and the Vice President are going through the trade fair and telling us what they are going to do for Nigeria. Why is it taking so long for the most populous black nation in the world not to be part of Brics is the question tonight. This is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let's go back again to South Africa a little bit.
So we thank you for that. So should you need more cheaters?
And this is now the South Africa president speaking.
Come to the home of cheaters. On the issue of traditional medicines repository, we have a very big community of people who are involved in traditional medicine here in South Africa. So we're willing to cooperate, and I'm sure the same obtains with all other members of Brics. And this you will find great support for amongst all of us to create.
You're listening to the South Africa president, Rafa.
So that would be good to heal all the ailments. We should not just continue being dependent on Western medicine.
Right now you're listening to Cyril Ramaphosa, the South Africa president that is speaking right now. Is a live transmission. We're connected to what is going on right there in South Africa. Let's go back again to South Africa.
In this meeting of 125 countries participating, the Global South should now continue to be our area of focus, and we appreciate that. We want to wish you well as you continue to prepare to host the G20 summit.
And that is going to be happening in Brazil the end of this year. The G20 summit. Once again,
Brics. This is a matter that we are discussing, and hopefully we will find a clear solution to this matter as we discuss it amongst.
So let me come back again to those of you that are with me tonight. What is your take? Boye, Babawa Boye said Nigeria will not be part just because Nigerian politicians and leaders are all capitalists. They are interested in corruption, oppression, hunting the righteous who are ready to turn things around for good of the poor masses. God, Akim Salami said the current Nigeria is not thinking about the future. Talk is cheap when it's coming from Nigerian official. Mr. Peter said our future leaders are selling pure water in the street when their fellow mates in Europe are exposed to the best books and getting prepared for whatever the challenges they will face in the world. But according to the new minister, Or do we say the Interior Minister, Nigeria will deploy technology to protect our borders? Thank you so much, Princess Adebimpe. Awoni says, yes, the leader of the Wagner has been confirmed on TBC, but I'm also getting another news that there is another private jet that have landed, and that same private jet belongs to the same leader of Wagner. So we have to see what is going to happen, whether he's there or not. But it seems already the news outside says the Wagner boss have died, but I'm getting another intel from Russia that says that another private jet that belongs to the leader of the Wagner group have just landed. So I don't know what is going to happen, but let's wait and see. Let me come back again to those of you that are watching us tonight. Do you think that Nigeria we can deploy to protect our borders, especially with so many things that is happening in Nigeria as of today? Is Nigeria ready? Let me now play this because I have this ready now. I've been looking for this. Paul Alaje Wale Edun needs to redirect Nigerian economy from consumption to production. Do you think, I'm asking those of you that are with me tonight, wherever you're listening to me from, do you think that Nigeria new finance minister Wale Edun will be able to put Nigeria from consumption to production? What is your take on that? Do you think that Nigeria will be able to go into from consumption to production? And if you do not know what that means, maybe we should listen to this right now, because this will give you the understanding why Nigeria was not part of the Brics nation at the beginning. Let's listen to this analysis that came out on one of the news network in Nigeria. Let's listen to it. Bear with us. It seems that that audio is not ready yet. We'll come back to that again in just about a few minutes. Once again, as we continue to monitor what is happening in Nigeria, the question that so many Nigerians are asking is, can we become, what we called economic production rather than consumption? It seems that we've been consuming too much. And I think we now have the video that we're about to play that is going to come out as an audio to those of you that are watching us around the world. Once again, if you're watching me in Ghana, I say shout out to you. Shout out to those of you in South Africa, in Libya, in Morocco, in Oman, in Baghdad, and many of you in Benin Republic. And now let's listen to this chief economics, Paul Alaje, explaining 5 billion palliative export-oriented, small scale should be boosted with grants. Do you think that there will be changes in Nigeria when it comes to Nigeria economy? It seems already we are consuming, but we are not producing a lot.
I think the number he wants to target is up. Okay, first of all, is the capacity of the businesses. President Tinubu had mentioned that he was going to support small businesses, because you mentioned small businesses, yes, with about, he said 100,000 of them with 1 million naira each. I think the amount is small, it's small, very small. And I think the number he wants to target is also very small. We have about 40 million SMEs in Nigeria. So how can we be targeting 100,000?
I hope you are getting the figure and the numbers. This is the key part of what we say all the time. Let's look at the numbers. If we have 40 million small scale businesses, whether you are selling pure water, whether you are selling a recharge card, whether you are a POS operator, whatever you are doing, even those of you riding Okada, you are already part of that 40 million. But it seems that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to only pick out 100,000. Let's listen again.
Businesses. President Tinubu had mentioned that he was going to support small businesses, because you mentioned small businesses, yes, with about, he said 100,000 of them with 1 million naira each.
Okay, 100,000 of you is what President Bola Tinubu wants to support, with 1 million naira each. So what do you think you can do with 1 million naira? Do you think that you can turn things around with 1 million naira today in Nigeria as a small, medium
Okay,
business?
First of all, is the capacity of the businesses. President Tinubu had mentioned that he was going to support small businesses, because you mentioned small businesses, yes, with about, he said 100,000 of them with 1 million naira each. I think the amount is small, it's small, very small. And I think the number he wants to target is also very small. We have about 40 million SMEs in Nigeria. So how can we be targeting 100,000 out of 40 million with 1 million naira? When before the president got to office, 1 million naira is now the equivalent of that money now is about 500,000 naira. Wow. So why are you supporting just? So if you want to support, I think the president should leave about 5 million naira for not less than 10 million SMEs. You are going to see the impact. But policy should now come around that. That's where you need the ministry.
And this is why we are saying that, is this government serious? Is the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu government serious to fight what we called elevation of poverty in Nigeria? Let's go back again and listen.
Of finance to first provide the money, you need the Ministry of Trade to provide the money. That SMEs that is that is export oriented, and you can at least employ 2 more persons. We will give you this either as grants. Government are just giving states 5 billion, and they said 50.
I hope that the 5 billion that the government have provided for each of the states, I hope is being distributed in accordance with all the 774 local government, and I hope the money is not already gone. In just 12 minutes, I'll be taking you into the conversation of the Yoruba nation struggle. Okoya Folayan says, Koiki, that can never happen again in this country until Nigeria is divided. Mr. Kazim Ola said, God bless you, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. God bless you too as well. Let's go back again.
Okay, first of all is the capacity of the businesses. President Tinubu had mentioned that he was going to support small businesses, because you mentioned small businesses with about, he said 100,000 of them with 1 million naira each. I think the amount is small, very small, and I think the number he wants to target is also very small. We have about 40 million SMEs in Nigeria. So how can we be targeting 100,000 out of 40 million with 1 million naira? When before the president got to office, 1 million naira is now the equivalent of that money now is about 500,000 naira. Wow. So why are you supporting just? So if you want to support, I think the president should leave about 5 million naira for not less than 10 million SMEs. You are going to see the impact. But policy should now come around that. That's where you need the Ministry of Finance to first provide the money. You need the Ministry of Trade to provide the money. That SMEs that is export oriented, and you can at least employ 2 more persons. We will give you this either as grants. Government are just giving states 5 billion, and they said 52% is grant. Do the same for businesses, because that's government. Do the same for businesses, or tell those state governors to do it for SMEs. So give 52% as grants to businesses that are export oriented. What does that mean? And let them also have a minimum of 2 employees. So if you are targeting 10 million, you are saying that you want to engage 20 million extra people. So what will happen to unemployment? It will crash significantly. What will happen to export? It would increase. What will happen to foreign reserves? It will improve. And you have supported production. Because they know to remain, they have to keep producing. So you may not give them all the money 100%, but give them 52, just as you've done to state. You are going to see a dramatic boost. That's when you know that Nigeria can export shea butter. As much as shea butter, because there are so many African countries that they still carry natural air and they need shea butter. That's when you know that black soap will be exported, because I've been to a few African countries and I see people buy black soap, some of which Nigerians could produce and sell to those countries. So if you support small business, and I'm not saying don't support large businesses. Yes, large businesses, they are still part of the backbone of the economy. But you see, most of the pain people are feeling are businesses that their net worth is less than 50 million naira, and those are the businesses that employ 5 to 10 people. But how do we deliberately support them with about 5 million naira and say, hey guys, we want you, once you can convince us in a presentation. We have seen a program where people wrote business plans, and we even have a private sector persons running this thing and giving millions of dollars to Africans. But instead of looking at Africans, just do for Nigeria, and just target should be, if it's tech, you have an app that can be exported to the rest of the world, we are going to support you. But please, employ, and it must be registered in Nigeria. It must be a Nigerian company. Yes. And please, not Delaware. No. And please, and if you will list virtually list it here in Nigeria. Don't list it abroad. So that the monies come to us, you are going to see a dramatic change. And I hope this is what Minister of Finance will do in his next budget and say we want to support small businesses. President has already called this grant. Can we increase this money? 52% go to small businesses. We have export going all around the country. And what you see is that then the Minister of Blue Economy must ensure that to export will be like walking in the park. It will be like a walk in the park, I beg your pardon. That's to export. So export now is very difficult. To import is even headache because you have to pay demorages that is not necessary. The port and its environment is not organized. It's too complex.
Well, do we continue to talk or do we put things in place? Let me now come back again to the Brics. Do you see why Nigeria is not moving forward? Because we are importing almost every need, from the toothpick to the tissue paper, to the toilet roll, to the food that we eat. We cannot even grow our own food anymore. We have to now rely on the food from outside. Do you see why Nigeria is not moving forward? Do you see why Nigeria is not respected as a country around the world anymore? Nigeria has become a joke. Since 2010, the Brics was set up, but Nigeria refused to be part of it because Nigerians are still hoping that one day we will have the right leaders. And this is where it comes to the indigenous people that are now saying enough is enough. We've had enough of these shenanigans. It is time now that we listen to this before we move further again.
Ohun tó bá ti yá kan ò kì í pẹ́ mọ́. Ní kúkúrú èdè ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń já yín torí pé à ń retí ẹ̀yin pàápàá nínú ìjókòó ọjọ́ náà. Nínú àpérò àpapọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá àgbáyé ọlọ́jọ́ kan tó ń bọ̀ yìí. One Day Yorùbá World Youth Conference yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́ àbámẹ́ta Sátọ̀dé ọjọ́ 16 oṣù kẹjọ ọdún 2023. Àkọlé rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ ipa àti ohùn ọ̀dọ́ fún ọ̀kan ọ̀jọ̀kan ètò orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. The role and the voice of the youth to structure Yorùbá nation. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ látago 11 òwúrọ̀ America Eastern Time tó ń jẹ́ agogo 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ní UK àti agogo orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tí a lórí ìtàkùn ayélujára Zoom ni ó ti máa wáyé. Meeting ID 839-558-3292 nígbà tí password sì jẹ́ 790545. One Day Yorùbá Youth Conference yìí máa fàmì ọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ ó dájú. Àwọn ìlú mọ̀ọ́ká gbàgbọ́ jọ̀gbọ́n ọlọ́gbọ́n gbogbo ni ó wà níkàlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí bàbá wa emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye, Yorùbá Nation Leader aka Oracle of our time. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa, Youth Leader in all diaspora láti USA. Comrade Olúwamáyọ̀wá Òmíyọ̀, Youth Leader láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Lára àwọn olùbánisọ̀rọ̀ ọjọ́ náà sì ni Honourable Dr. Isaac Òkèbíọ̀rọ̀sí, CPMO Director General, Dr. Túndé Amsa, Assistant Director láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Comrade Káyọ̀dé Mọ́là, Assistant Director láti UK. Comrade Ọláyọmí Kóìkì aka White Lion láti UK. Mrs. Morenikepa Binti láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Comrade Anike Praise láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Engineer Chief Múdà Dayọ̀ Ògúnṣọlá láti USA. Mr. Babalọlá Dàda láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Bákan náà láti ń fàkókò yìí sọ fún ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá gbogbo wípé àǹfààní sì sílẹ̀ láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láti jẹ́ aṣojú tàbí ara wa léyìíkéyìí ìlú tẹ́ bá wà. Nítorí wípé afẹ́kọ́wọ́jà ìkárí ayé ní kò pẹ́ kò jìnnà. Ẹ lè darapọ̀ mọ́ àpérò yìí live lórí ìkànnì Yorùbá World Media, Amóborí Owó Media, Koiki Media, Yèyé Dárakọ̀wé TV, Yorùbá Kingdom TV àti gbogbo ìkànnì mìíràn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ sókè fún ìjàgbara ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí i àbí tẹ́yin pàápàá bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa léyìíkéyìí ìlú tẹ́ bá wà. Ẹ lè pè tàbí kẹ́ WhatsApp +234-703-3355 tàbí kẹ́ pè Prophet Ayọ̀délé tí wọ́n jẹ́ Youth Leader in all diaspora gan lórí +1-803-846-1116. Yorùbá Nation Youth Ajáṣẹ̀yìn ló mọ irun òsì ilé. Ìkéde ìdẹ́sítì gbẹ́ látọwọ́ Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa, Youth Leader in all diaspora, lórúkọ gbogbo ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá pátápátá.
sure deal is already a deal. To be precise, let me inform you as we anticipate to see you in attendance in the forthcoming one-day Yoruba World Youth Conference, tailored for Saturday, August 26, 2023 from 11 a.m. American Eastern Time, which is 4 p.m. UK and Yoruba time. Theme: the role and the voice of the youth to structure Yoruba nation, holding globally via the Zoom network. Meeting ID 839-558-83292 and the passcode 790545. This one-day Yoruba World Youth Conference will be very remarkable and impactful in our struggle, as many high-profile worldwide personalities will be in attendance, ranking from Baba himself, Emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye, Yoruba national leader, also known as the Oracle of our time; Prophet Ayodele Ologunloluwa, youth leader in all diaspora from the United States; Comrade Oluwamayowa Omeyo, youth leader, Yoruba land; and guest speakers include Honorable Dr. Isaac Okibionrosi, CPMO Director General; Dr. Tunde Amzat, Assistant Director from Yoruba land; Comrade Olayomi Koiki, aka White Lion from the United Kingdom; Mrs. Morenike Babington from Yoruba land; Comrade Anike Praise from Yoruba land; Comrade Kayode Emola, Assistant Director from United Kingdom; Mr. Babalola Dada from Yoruba land; and Engineer Chief Muda Dayo Ogunshola from the United States. We also want to inform the entire Yoruba youth globally on how to join the Yoruba Nation Youth, especially those who have been aspiring to work and support this noble cause of liberation of Yoruba race, regardless of your location. You can contact youth leader to get registered free of charge. Don't forget, this one-day Yoruba Youth World Congress would be streamed live in all our platforms: Yoruba World Media, Omobori Owo Media, Koiki Media, Yeredara Kuwait TV, Yoruba Kingdom TV, and all other Yoruba Nation platforms. For more enquiry on this program or how to become a member, contact +234 703 717 3355 or contact Prophet Ayodele Ologunloluwa, the Diaspora Youth Leader, directly on +1 03-846-1116. Yoruba Nation Youth, these days dog chases the rabbit proficiently. Announcer Prophet Ayodele Ologunloluwa, youth leader in all diaspora for Yoruba Nation Youth.
And that is some of the highlight of what is going to be happening over the weekend. Sorry about that. Plan B, the MixLR is still not yet back. We hope it should be back as quickly as possible. Moki Babawa Mojid Ibrahim, as we're just going into the Yoruba Nation conversation right now, and we'll be touching the summary again of what is happening on the Brics side as well. Moki gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá níbi tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń wò wá, wàá ṣeré Azeez ní gbogbo ibi tí ó wà ní Miami. Moki bàbá wa Adékúnlé Oguns, moki ẹ Maze Gold, Plan B, moki Adams Ọlámilékan, moki gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa. Tẹ́ bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sírú nǹkan tí mo wọ̀ yìí, bóyá ẹ like ẹ̀yin náà pé nírú ẹ̀, tẹ́ bá pé nírú ẹ̀, ẹ wá kàn sí àwọn tí wọ́n ń pè ní the fashion designer of our time. Ọkùnrin ni yín ni, ọmọdé ni yín ni, àgbàlagbà ni yín ni, ibikíbi tẹ́ ẹ bá wà ní gbogbo àgbáyé, kò síbi tẹ́ bá wà tí wọ́n ò lè gé aṣọ tí ẹ máa wọ̀ dé òde tó máa sọ pé nǹkan kì í síbẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èyí tí ẹ mọ̀ pé African Fashion Fair ń bọ̀ ní London, ǹjẹ́ wọn náà fẹ́ múra dáadáa tó máa da lára, tó máa yege, tó máa lọ síbẹ̀ tó máa bèé pé níbo ló ti gbérú aṣọ yìí dìde, tó bá wá fẹ́rù aṣọ báyìí tó dàbí aṣọ tí ó yàtọ̀ sí gbogbo táwọn èèyàn ń rán nílùú òyìnbó, kàn sí àwọn tó ń pè ní Omitap Culture, the fashion designer. Ẹ lè kàn sórí nọ́mbà tèmi àbí kẹ́ lọ sórí Instagram page tí ẹ ń wò nísàlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀, kẹ́ lọ wo gbogbo àwọn nǹkan ti dá Omitap Culture, wá make sure pé ǹtẹ́ sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ yẹn gangan akànyìn lára. Àwọn wá ń ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa tẹ́ pé tó bá ṣe tán báyìí kí ìwọ gan tó gbà wàá mọ̀ pé ó gba nǹkan gidi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá bọ́ sórí ètò abala ti Yorùbá Nation, nítorí pé yẹn gangan ló jẹ wá lógún. Bí ti ṣe ń kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà, mo kí gbogbo arúgbó ilé o, mo kí gbogbo àwọn tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá pé ìjọba Bọ́lá Tinubu kò ń ṣèjọba táwa ń bájà, àmọ́ ìjọba tá à ń béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ni. Bí a ti wá ṣe ń béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ yẹn, oríṣiríṣi ìgbésẹ̀ a máa lọ ẹni tó bá wá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí irú aṣọ tí mo wọ̀ yìí ẹ̀yin náà lè sọ pé ó dúró lára bíi tọkùnrin dáadáa a sì tún máa wọ̀ tó máa jáde sí títì táwọn èèyàn máa rí pé kódà wọ́n gé nǹkan sí ara arákùnrin tó ń pè ní Mr. Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. Àwọn Omitab Culture àwọn lọ́ṣẹ̀ yẹn sí wa lára, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn dáadáa fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tó ń ṣe. Mo wá kí bàbá wa Olútóbi Olúṣẹ́sí, ẹ máa fi kọ́mẹ́ǹtì ń síbẹ̀ ká lè máa rí kà, torí pé Yorùbá Nation agbálá ẹ̀gan la wá bọ́ sí báyìí. Gbogbo ohun tó ń lọ káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé lénìí, ǹjẹ́ kò tí ì lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ kọ́mọ Yorùbá sọ pé àsìkò ti tó? Bí a ti ṣe ń jù sọ́hún tá ń jù sọ́sì, tá à ń bára wa sọ lójoojúmọ́ pé ìran Yorùbá ò kí ń jìyà, ìran Yorùbá ni wọ́n mọ̀ títí kó tó di pé wọ́n kó wa papọ̀ mọ́ ẹ̀rẹ̀. Inú ẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn la wá wà láti 63 years, a lọ síwájú a lọ sẹ́yìn. Àwa takú sójú kan bíi bàbá Èkìtì á ní omi tí ó wà lójú kan tó bá tẹsẹ̀ ború omi bẹ́ẹ̀, àkékè lè wà níbẹ̀, akàn lè wà níbẹ̀, oríṣiríṣi nǹkan bẹ níbẹ̀, omi adágún tó lọ sójú tó lọ síwájú. Ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n ní Bọ́lá Tinubu yẹn president ní òun máa fún àwọn 100,000 people ní 1 million naira láti fi máa ṣòwò. Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n máa rí inú owó yẹn gbà? Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ lọ sí ìlú Ìlọrin. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan pẹ̀lú ìyan wa tí a mọ̀ sí Tani Ọlọ́run? Kí ló ṣe gan? Ṣó ṣẹ̀ ni? Tó bá wá ṣẹ̀, ǹjẹ́ ó lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ pé kó lọ jíyàn gbé láti ìlú kan lọ sí ìlú kejì? Ǹjẹ́ a faramọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀? Kí ló dé tí Yorùbá tí a fẹ́ jọ gbé papọ̀, àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe àti àwa tí a jẹ́ ẹlẹ́sìn ìmíì? Kí ló ń fa awuyewuye gan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lénìí tó fi di pé ìwọ ṣe tiẹ̀ èmi ṣe tèmi, ó wá ń dìjà láàrin gbogbo wa? Mo rí i pé wọ́n ti lọ sílé ẹjọ́ lénìí, wọ́n tún ní kó fún wọn ní ọjọ́ mélòó kan lórí Tani Ọlọ́run. Mo wá ń bèrè, mo kí àwa Gbémilékè, mo kí àǹtí mi Jíire, mo kí Alájé, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ti ìlú Èkìtì, mo kí ẹ̀yin ti Oǹdó, mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí ẹ̀yin ti ìlú Ọ̀ṣun, mo kí ní ìlú Ọ̀yọ́, mo kí bàbá wa Ìbà Gani Adams, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mò ń kí gbogbo ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kí ló dé gan? Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wo la ṣe tó fi di pé ọmọ Yorùbá ò péjọ gbé papọ̀? Ṣèbí àtijọ́ ń gbé papọ̀ for a very long time. Kí ló wá fà á tó wá di pé gbígbé wa fẹ́ wá máa ní wá lára? Ṣé torí pé irú social media tó wá dé báyìí débi pé sọ tiẹ̀ kémi sọ tèmi, ó wá di pé tí ń bú tiwa náà ti pẹ́? Gbogbo wa náà la mọ bí wọ́n ti ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe tó ń ṣe ní tó ń ṣàná. Ṣé bí ànábì Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ṣé bó ṣe sọ fún wa nìyẹn pé ká máa wẹnu tọ́ sáwọn tó jẹ́ ẹlẹ́sìn kejì àbáwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe? Ṣèbí ìran Yorùbá ni wá? Kí ló wá fà á tó fi di pé ìlú Ìlọrin yẹn náà ni ibi tí wọ́n ti pín ìrẹsì fún yín? Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ohun tí wọ́n pín fún yín, ìyẹn àwọn olóṣèlú, lára ìrẹsì tí ìjọba ní kó pín káàkiri. Ó dèlú kan náà ní agbègbè kan ní local government kan nílùú Ìlọrin. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. Abala tá à ń gbọ́ lọ́wọ́ yìí, abala tí àwọn ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà, ìyẹn tí bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè tó ṣe alágbàtọ́ ẹ̀ pé ẹ jẹ́ ká polongo Yorùbá fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí kò yé. Àmọ́ tá a bá ń sọ pé a fẹ́ gba Yorùbá Nation, ká tó dé pé a fẹ́ gba Yorùbá Nation, ìlódé tá a fẹ́ jọ gbé papọ̀ láàrin ara wa. Mo kí yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́tún lósì nílé lóko. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ irú oúnjẹ tó pín fún wọn nílùú Ìlọrin.
Fún ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara ní 1,200 bags of rice, ẹgbẹ̀rún kan àtọgọ́rùn-ún méjì àpò ìrẹsì. Sẹ́yìn bá mi ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ ti àpapọ̀ pé fún Kwara State. Fún Kwara State yìí, wọ́n sì ní local government ti ṣe mẹ́rìndínlógún 16. So lábẹ́ mẹ́rìndínlógún kan náà ni Ìlọrin West wà nínú wọn. Ìlọrin West tó wá náà yìí, ó ní wọ́ọ̀dù tí ń ṣe 12. Inú wọ́ọ̀dù tí ń ṣe 12 Adéwọlé jẹ́ kanú ẹ̀. Láti Adéwọlé yìí ni Àbùmẹ́lẹ́wò wà. Wọ́n wá níjọba àpapọ̀ tí ìbàdà gbígbà débẹ̀ nínú ẹgbẹ̀rún kan àtọgọ́rùn-ún méjì tẹ́gùn wa. Wọ́n fún gbogbo Adéwọlé lápapọ̀ ní àpò báàgì rẹ́sì 8. Gbogbo tí ń jẹ́ Adéwọlé ẹ bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti Àkátà títí ìrẹ́bìdégàrẹ̀ wó ògùn ọkọ̀. Adéwọlé ló dé ogbó bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fún wọn ní báàgì ráìsì mẹ́jọ báàgì ráìsì mẹ́jọ yìí wọ́n wá sọ àwọn àdúgbò wọ́n sún wọ́n papọ̀ nínú ìdajì báàgì wọ́n wá tó wọ́n ní 36 ike níwà nínú báàgì kan wọ́n wá tó àgùnbẹ́lẹ́wò ìyá odò ta àti adéwọlé housing estate wọ́n so papọ̀ àwọn mẹ́ta àwa pín ìdajì báàgì kan fún ike mẹ́fà kan gbogbo àgùnbẹ́lẹ́wò lápapọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣe pàtàkì ó gbogbo ìjọba jẹ́ olóṣèlú ẹjọ́ gbé fún wa ní o. Ó tún wá gbé fún wa tó wá lọ́wọ́ àgọ́ àgùnbẹ́lẹ́wò ní o. Ẹ̀dẹ́kun ẹlòmíì tó bá wá wádìí ìjọba lọ́dọ̀ bí tó wá lọ wọ́n lè challenge wa o. Ike mẹ́fà la gbà wá sí àgùnbẹ́lẹ́wò sẹ́ni gbogbo àgùnbẹ́lẹ́wò pé àyẹ̀wò àwọn ọmọ tí a bá ní ìlú ẹ̀ lọ àyẹ̀wò àtẹ̀lé wa ẹ̀yìn ìyá wa àtàwọn tí ń bọ̀ wá káwá.
Eléyìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú Ìlọrin níbi tí wọ́n gbé ráìsì tí kò ṣeé jẹ fún family of 3 and we are asking again níjọ́ wo la fẹ́ kúrò nínú eléyìí. Mo kí ẹ Mickey lórí TikTok, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́tí mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Ǹjẹ́ bí a ṣe fẹ́ máa báyé lọ leléyìí níbi tí ìyà ń jẹ ọmọ Yorùbá lénìí ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti àwọn tó ń bẹ lẹ́yìn odi gan, how much more can we take? Lára ìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ pé ẹ jẹ́ kí a wo ayékájọ gbéyẹ̀wò ǹjẹ́ ó sì tọ́ sọ́nà pé ká wà nínú Nàìjíríà àbí ká béèrè fún self-determination. Kí ló ń pè ní self-determination? Ìyẹn ò sọ pé à ń bájọba jà, àmọ́ à ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ìjọba pé àjọṣepọ̀ wa àti Nàìjíríà kò ṣiṣẹ́ kò dán mọ́rán. Níbi tí wọ́n jíyàn gbé pé èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ even if there is a defamation of character, ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní process. Ẹ̀ẹ̀kan ní wọnú ìlú kan kẹ jíyàn gbé láàrin òru láàrin àárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án kẹ wá rú lọ sí state míì, state tí wàhálà yẹn ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ló ẹ̀kọ́ ti kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ ẹjọ́ yẹn. Ìbéèrè tí mo ń bi gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá léèrè ni pé is this the kind of society that we want? For how long ni ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ kẹ́ dá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ẹ máa jókòó ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀? Ẹni Bọ́lá Tinubu ìyẹn pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì tó ń bẹ lórí oyè ẹni ó máa tún kan ṣe. Ìdí tẹ́yìn ò ṣe dá sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ẹ wá dákẹ́, àwa ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín pé how long more do we have to wait? Mo kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Azeez ní gbogbo Miami, ó ní àwọn wèrè people. Mo kí ẹ Ọlákúnlé, wọ́n wá pín ráìsì tí kò tó jẹ fún family of 2, wọ́n gbé fún one particular district. Ìrẹsì náà lẹ́ ń wò nílẹ̀ ẹlẹ́ yẹn nínú báàgì tí ó wà nílẹ̀ ẹlẹ́. Gbogbo nǹkan gbé fún local government kan òun lẹ́ ń wò yẹn. It is not even a half bag, kò ń ṣe quarter, kò ń ṣe full bag, òun náà lẹ́ ń wò lórí screen yẹn. That is the rice that was given to a particular local government in Ilorin out of the rice that the government have asked to be distributed to relieve the problems, as we say, in the current Nigeria today. Mo ń bi ọmọdé, mo ń bi àgbàlagbà. This is the Nigeria of our dreams. But is this the country that we want to continue to live? As many Yoruba people are suffering, as many Igbo people are suffering, as many Hausa people are suffering for the negligence of no government in what we call Nigeria today. And as I asked again, how much more do we wait? How much more do we have to wait? Once again, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Again, as we say nǹkan ń lọ ní gbogbo àgbáyé àmọ́ tó bá dijọ́ Friday yìí àwọn tí a mọ̀ sí Yonkan the Yoruba Christian Association they've decided to put something together called the Power of Unity towards Yoruba Nation National Treaty Remembrance Day. Eléyìí máa wáyé ní ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ tí a wà yìí. Ǹjẹ́ iná máa darapọ̀ mọ́ Yoruba Nation Christian Association Yonkan? Ìyẹn ní aago 7 ó máa wáyé lórí Zoom according to the chief host the Yonkan Governing Council architect Akinola George gbogbo yín lè mọ̀ comrade Akinola George. Àwọn máa wà lórí ìjókòó pẹ̀lú emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye father of the day Yonkan peace fún Yoruba Nation. Yoruba Global Media ó máa gbé Yoruba Home Based Media máa gbé àti gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣètò pé kí ìrìn àjò Yoruba Nation kó lè máa tẹ̀síwájú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà ti Canada àwọn náà sọ pé mo wá ń bi gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lálẹ́ yìí kó tó di pé ètò yẹn máa wáyé ìyẹn níjọ́ Saturday tó ń bọ̀ yìí. Ẹ̀yin náà bá mi dáhùn ìbéèrè tí mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín nínú comment section. Ìbéèrè náà òun ni pé can Yoruba survive alone without Nigeria? Ǹjẹ́ a lè dá dúró kí ẹ̀mí wa kó gùn nínú Nàìjíríà àbí ká wà nínú Nàìjíríà kó máa pín ìrẹsì tí kò ṣeé jẹ fún family of 3? Ìbéèrè ni mò ń bi gbogbo wa. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe aṣọ tí a wọ̀ yìí. Àwọn náà ni a mọ̀ sí Omitaf Culture, the fashion designer. Bespoke tailoring, aṣọ ẹbí, custom made, ó wà ń bẹ̀. Kódà tẹ́ bá fẹ́ tàwọn ọmọdé ó ń bẹ níbẹ̀. Kódà fashion training ń bẹ tẹ́ bá fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn kọ́ṣẹ́ wá kọ́ yín. Torí pé èèyàn máa ń kọ́ nǹkan kó tó mọ̀ ni pé à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lénìí àwa náà ń wá àwọn kan ta lọ kọ́ṣẹ́ lábẹ́ wọn kó tó di pé àwa náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í sọ̀rọ̀. Kò sí nǹkan tó bá fẹ́ ṣe ní gbogbo àgbáyé ó bá ti mọ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ lọ kọ́ ni. Kò wá ń ṣe pé kó lọ sí yunifásitì nìkan wàá tún wá lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn tó mọṣẹ́ kó bá kó ẹ wàá farabalẹ̀ wàá mọ bó ṣe ń gún abẹ́rẹ́ tó máa wọnú ìdí èèyàn tí kò ní kán síbẹ̀. Wàá mọ bó ṣe ń ránṣọ tó dáa di ìgbàlódé ìyẹn làwọn Ìgbò ń ṣe. Ẹ rí pé á ní òun wà lábẹ́ ọ̀gá òun á wà níbẹ̀ for 5 years àwa la fẹ́ di ọ̀gá ara wa àwa ti di wàhálà. Ẹni tí kò tí ì jẹ́ kó di ọ̀gá ó náà fẹ́ di ọ̀gá. Gbogbo ètò yìí náà la ṣe ń sọ pé jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù pẹ̀lú bàbá Akíntóyè bàbá tó mọ̀nà nìyẹn. Gbogbo èyí tí onídàgboru dé tó wá dàrú agbéwá sí Star Radio ó wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ àṣerọ́ ló ń bẹ níbẹ̀. Gbogbo tó ń sọ yẹn kò wà realistic gbogbo wọn lọ́mọ yẹn kò síbi kan tó ti ń gbàdú bẹ́ẹ̀ irọ́ ló ń pa fún yín ẹlẹ́mìí ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ irọ́ ló ń bẹ níbẹ̀. So tó bá wá fẹ́ kọ́ṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ mọṣẹ́ àbí tó fẹ́ jẹ́ kó bẹ́ẹ̀ rán aṣọ ìgbàlódé torí pé aṣọ ìgbàlódé là ń sọ òun náà la ṣe ń sọ pé a fẹ́ Yorùbá Nation a fẹ́ analog Nigeria. Ìbéèrè tí mò ń bi gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lálẹ́ yìí ni pé can Yoruba survive alone without Nigeria? Eléyìí máa wáyé pẹ̀lú Dr. Layo Adeniyi ìyẹn guest speaker ní ọjọ́ Saturday 3 p.m. Eastern Time ìyẹn á jẹ́ aago 8 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ní èdè ní aago tilẹ̀ Yorùbá àbí Nigerian time. Àwọn olóògbétò yìí kalẹ̀ wọ́n ń pè ní ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà Canada Town Hall Meeting. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín máa rántí pé a ti ní rédíò ìjẹ́ tí ń download ẹ̀ lórí App Store àbí ẹ̀ tí download ẹ̀ kí ló dé? Ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà àwọn ń ṣe tiwọn olúkálukú ń ṣe tiẹ̀ kí ìrìnàjò yìí lè tẹ̀síwájú. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ pé the Yoruba youth ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ kò ń ṣe ọ̀dọ́ tí Dagboruwu máa ń sọ fún yín pé ẹ lọ wáṣẹ́ lórí website tí kò síṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ irọ́ ló ń bẹ níbẹ̀. A sọ fún yín títí pé èèyàn kì í fiṣẹ́ síbi tí kò tí ní country. Ó ní kẹ́ lọ register bóun máa fún yín níṣẹ́ ọ̀nà wo ló fẹ́ gbà fún yín níṣẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ tí wọ́n sọ pé Tinubu gọ́sẹ̀ ó ní nínú 40 million Nigerians òun máa fún 100,000 péré ní 1 million. Netech Electrical Yoruba can never survive inside Nigeria. We can survive without the mad people all over the place. Just reason sọ pé wọ́n ń ṣe freedom náà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bó kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. àwọn wo ló fẹ́ ṣe agbátò Yorùbá Nation Leaders Office tó ń pè ní CPMO lábẹ́ bàbá wa Dr. Òkèbíọ̀run kò sí. Wọ́n náà wọ́n invite gbogbo wa lọ́mọdé lágbàlagbà nínú Zoom ló ti máa wáyé, àmọ́ ètò yẹn máa wáyé lórí gbogbo Yorùbá World Media àti home based media àti gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Yorùbá. Bàbá wa Mojid Ibrahim ní yes we can survive as a nation. Mo ò rí kọ́mẹ̀ntì yìí àbí a lè survive ni ká kúkú fi Yorùbá nation sílẹ̀ ká máa polongo Nàìjíríà. Saheed Balógun mo kí ẹ, ó ní long life to you Mr. Ọláyọmí Kóìkì, mo kí gbogbo yín Ìtàgàràwù, mo kí yín ní Àjà, Alájà, mo kí yín Ìyá Ìgbòho. Ṣé wọ́n ti sọ fún ìjọba pé ẹ fi Sunday Ìgbòho sílẹ̀, à ń bọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ tó bá dago 8 a máa ṣí ètò sílẹ̀ fún just 30 minutes kẹ́ bá wa dá sí. Ṣé ó ti tó kí Bọ́lá Tinubu the president kó fi Ìgbòho sílẹ̀ lọ́rùn kó lift embargo? Ká tó débẹ̀ mò ń bọ̀ náà, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Àná àwọn Yorùbá Nation Youth wọ́n ń pe gbogbo wa sẹ́ẹ̀ lábẹ́ bàbá wa Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunolúwa, àwọn náà lọ tó máa gbétò ìtàn pè ní the mega rally tó ń bẹ nílùú Amẹ́ríkà. Wọ́n ní kí gbogbo wa ká jáde ní the United Nations mega rally tó ń bọ̀ ní United Nations General Assembly ní New York City. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń bẹ ní away from New York, wọ́n ní kẹ́ kàn sí nọ́mbà yìí kí ẹ lè tètè mọ̀ kó lè ṣètò ibi tẹ́ lè dé sí, tẹ́ máa sanwó díẹ̀ nítorí pé iṣẹ́ tá gbé dání yìí ó kan ẹ̀mí ó kan ìwọ, ẹ máa fàyè sílẹ̀ ní àwa náà ń fẹ́ àyè sílẹ̀ la fi ń ṣe gbogbo tá à ń ṣe yìí. Tàbá ní ká lọ síbi iṣẹ́ nìkan ká má fàyè sílẹ̀, báwo ló ṣe máa gbọ́ nípa Yorùbá Nation? Ìyẹn ló ṣe wá ní pé àbá bọ́dà wa Comrade Olúwamáyọ̀wá Òmẹ́yọ̀, òun ni youth leader Homeland lábẹ́ bàbá wa Emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye Yorùbá Nation leader aka Oracle of our time. Wọ́n náà ń pe gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sí ìjáde tí a mọ̀ sí one day World Youth Conference. Irọ́ ẹ̀ máa ti dọ̀hún àti gbọ́ nǹkan tó fún yín, wọ́n fún yín ní àti gbọ́ yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣé wọ́n fún yín 1 bag of rice. Èèyàn mélòó ló máa jẹ yẹn? Èèyàn mélòó ló lè jẹ yẹn? À ń bá yín lọ. Kwara ẹ ṣe sùúrù, à ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín. Oníwàhálà ní ẹ pọ̀, ẹ ti láìkì wàhálà jù nílùú Ìlọrin. Mò ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín. Àníṣe Yorùbá youth people à ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá tẹ̀ ń bẹ l'Amẹ́ríkà. Ẹni kò kàn yín, mo pàdé yín nígbà tí a lọ sí Wizkid, Àṣàkẹ́ ló gba gbogbo ibi tó ń pè ní O2, 20,000 people ló lọ síbẹ̀. Ǹjẹ́ àwọn tó lọ síbẹ̀ ǹjẹ́ lè lọ sílé? 20,000 people, whether non-Nigerians or Nigerians, many of you that travel to the O2, can you also travel to go and watch Àṣàkẹ́ in Ìlọrin? Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n lè jẹ́ káṣàkẹ́ play irú orin tó play ní London ní ìlú Ìlọrin? Ǹjẹ́ gbogbo yín lè fi káwọn ọmọ yín travel lọ sí Nàìjíríà kó lọ wo Wizkid ní ìlú Abẹ́òkúta? Ǹjẹ́ lè allow káwọn ọmọ yín travel lọ sí Kogi State kó lọ wo Davido tó bá ń ṣeré ní Kogi State? Ǹjẹ́ lè gbà káwọn ọmọ yín lọ wo Burna Boy ní Ondo State? So gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ tí ẹ wà nílùú òyìnbó tí ẹ ń sọ pé kọ̀ọ̀kan yín tá à ń pè yín, wọ́n wá ní kẹ́ wá gbọ́n tó fẹ́ sọ. Wọ́n ní kẹ́ wá darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn ní Yorùbá Nation Youth Conference so that you can have a better understanding. Don't say it is not my problem. I am not in Nigeria. I live in UK. I live in America. I live in Canada. I live in European countries. I live in Turkey. A mọ̀ pé media kan wà níbẹ̀, irọ́ gbàgàgbàgà ló ń gbé kalẹ̀ pé àwọn ti gba country. Ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti gba country. Mo challenge ẹ̀, mo ní kó lọ sọ fún wọn ní Turkey pé òun ò kí ń ṣe Nàìjíríà mọ́, òun ti jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá Nation country. Kò lè ṣe yẹn, irọ́ ló ń pa. Ẹ sọ fún media tó ń bẹ ní Turkey yẹn pé mo challenge ẹ̀ pé kó lọ withdraw identity ẹ̀ tó wà ní Turkey as a Nigerian, kó lọ present Yorùbá Nation country yẹn fún àwọn Turkish representative tó wà. Irọ́ ló ń pa, kò lè ṣe yẹn. Ó mọ̀ pé irọ́ lòun pa. Mo kí ẹ Comrade Ṣẹ́gun Ọ̀nà, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ ti ṣiṣẹ́ lọ àtẹ̀yìn tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́. Kentos Àbẹ̀bí mo kí ẹ ní Manchester. Alájà Ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé, mo kí yín. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Milton Keynes, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Scotland, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Wales, mo kí Káyọ̀dé Mọ̀lá, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ. Wọ́n ní ẹ sọ fáwọn ọmọ yín, ẹ sọ fáwọn ọ̀dọ́ yín pé àníṣe kọ́ wá gbọ́ nípa interface sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí one day World Youth Conference so that you can have a better understanding of why we are agitating. tó bá ní kò pọ́n lẹ́ni ó lè pọ́n lọ́la tó bá ní kò pọ́n lọ́la ó lè pọ́n lọ́túnla. As many of us that have our roots to Nigeria, we must remember that the fight for Yoruba nation is a cause for every one of us. We must all stand up. Mo kí bàbá mi dáadáa, bàbá alálùbáríkà, mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo gbàlẹ́ ń bẹ lábẹ́ ètò. Àwọn tó bá mi di GR1 mú nìyẹn bàbá dáadáa. Mo kí ìyàwó, mo kí gbogbo yín tẹ̀ ń bẹ níbẹ̀. Alhaji Alabi Bashiru, wọ́n ní Yoruba can only survive without Nigeria. Why staying in Nigeria is killing us. Mo kí sísà mi dáadáa. Nígbà tí gbogbo wa bá rántí UNPO, kí n rántí sísà kan, Comrade Ṣọlá Sàlàkọ́, ìyá dáadáa, mo kí yín gbé tẹ́ bá wà. Mo ń bí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń bẹ labroad, ẹ má jókòó pé ẹ fẹ́ lọ máa wo Wizkid nìkan nínú stadium. Let's be part of this project. We are not carrying arms against the government. We are only asking for the right to self-determination so that we can move as Yoruba people, so that we can appreciate ourselves. We know that we have footballers that are Yorubas, but they are not representing us as Yoruba people. They are representing Nigeria. Afusat is one of them. We have a lot of people that are playing basketball. Afewa into the world so that we can compete around the world as Yoruba people, as doctors, as pediatricians, as engineers, as everything that we want to do. We can do all these in our own territory and we can still be neighbors to those that we have left behind. If we decide not to go, Bola Ahmed Tinubu only has maximum of 8 years as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Where is Jonathan today? Even Jonathan wanted to come back. They wanted to push him to come back, but Jonathan did not come back. Where is Muhammadu Buhari today? He's gone. Where is the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo? He has done his 8 years, he's gone. After 8 years, whatever the economic structure that the President Bola Tinubu wants to put in place, it will be destroyed again by whoever is coming back, because we know that the North have dragged us back for the last 63 years. We can be friends and neighbors with the Igbos. Let everybody go their separate ways does not mean that we hate humanity. We are Yoruba people. We have been existing for a very long time. This is the reason why they are calling you for a one-day World Youth Conference. And the theme of that day is going to be the role and the voice of the youth to structure Yoruba nation. I am not talking about this woman that came and decided to tell you that ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ is all lies. They are telling you lies. I can tell you that none of them can go to the country that they are residing today. I'm talking about the media in Turkey and those representing them, even in London, in America, to go there and tell the country that Awatigba country tiwa and I want to revoke my citizenship as Nigeria. They cannot do so. So why are they telling you lies? Because we know that people living in Turkey, you only have a restricted immigration. You cannot become a full citizen of Turkey if you are not married to a Turkish woman or a Turkish man. So why the lie? Country, knowing fully well that they don't have a country yet. They are still campaigning as far as we know. But the problem is, well, they follow the protocol to work in terms of the push for Yoruba nation. Báwo lẹ ṣe máa sọ fún yín pé àwọn gba country òun dẹ̀ ṣì ń lo Nàìjíríà nílùú tó wà, kò lè parọ́ fún yín pé òun ò lo Nàìjíríà because kò kí ń ṣe Turkish citizen. I know that. Ẹni mo challenge ẹ̀ pé kò kí ń ṣe Turkish citizen. So kí ló wá lè máa sọ fún yín pé òun ti gba country ṣó ti revoke license as a Nigerian tó ń gbé ní Turkey because Turkey ò kí ń fún Nigerian ní full stay. Kódà wọn fẹ́ lòmí ní right láti ṣiṣẹ́, wọ́n kàn máa ń rìn ní ìwé yẹn fún wọn every 2 years or every 6 months. Tí bá parọ́ mọ́ ẹni kó jáde kó debunk ẹ̀. So why is he coming and telling you that we have a country when fully we don't have a country yet? We are not joking when we come to Yoruba nation. It's our right, but we must tell the people the truth. And this is what people don't want to understand. Àwọn tó ń bẹ nílùú òyìnbó tára ń ta yín pé ẹ fẹ́ gba country. Yes, ẹ fẹ́ gba country. Everybody wants a country, but there is a due process. And that process does not mean that the United Nations will give us a country. But we must continue to do what we call negotiation, diplomacy. Ìdí tá a ṣe ń pe àwọn ọ̀dọ́ nìyẹn pé ẹ wá gbọ́n ta fẹ́ sọ ìyẹn ní ìjọ Saturday ní aago 4 UK time, 1600 hours. Once again, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. A kàn máa fún yàn bí mélòó díẹ̀ láyè láti pè wọlé in the next 4 minutes. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ pè wọlé, ẹ máa múra sílẹ̀ ní +4474 044059. Ìyẹn tí mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wa kò ju pé can Yoruba survive alone without Nigeria? Mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà, mo kí gbogbo bí tẹ́ bá ti ń gbọ́ wa káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. Orí ètò Star Radio UK la wà yìí níbi tí a ti jọ ń gbé ọ̀rọ̀ kalẹ̀, tí a ti jọ ń gbé yẹ̀wò. Ǹjẹ́ Yorùbá lè ṣe ẹ̀mí nínú pé tá a bá sí nínú Nàìjíríà mọ́? Nítorí pé ẹ̀mí tó bẹ nínú Nàìjíríà báyìí àti Mùsùlùmí àti oníṣẹ̀ṣe àti Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ọdọọdún ni wọ́n ń gbẹ̀mí lọ́wọ́ wa. 28,000 Yoruba people died when the former president Muhammadu Buhari was in power. I'm asking again, what do we want? Do we want a country where we can have our own identification, where we can be respected around the world? This is the reason why we are calling every one of you to join us on Saturday.
In short deal is already a deal. To be precise, let me inform you as we anticipate to see you in attendance in the forthcoming one-day Yoruba World Youth Conference, Lord, for Saturday, August 26, 2023, from 11 a.m. American.
All right, let's take the first call quickly. And please, Ebashe, briefly, because there's not enough time. Ekale Kabo Soreto, Restart Radio UK Lawa. Emute Tefingbawa long. Emute Tefingbawa.
Yes.
Ekabo Soreto, sir.
Yes, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you on YouTube.
Go ahead.
Actually, you see that there's a conflict in all the things that is happening in Yoruba nation.
Let's hear from you, sir.
This division is really causing so many doubts.
Okay, division.
These people say they have collected they've declared Yoruba nation. Does not mean that they are not Nigerians. Negotiation and everything will follow, but they don't need to bring it out for all the world to see that they're negotiating. So many things are going underneath.
Okay, so in terms of this, I want to declare.
Yeah.
So in terms of this, the declaration is authentic. If I can hear you right.
It is authentic.
Okay. Okay. How is it authentic? Authentic.
Okay. You are a Yoruba man.
Okay.
And you know Yoruba nation has been existing before the white people came to Africa.
Understandable, yes. That's a fact.
Are you going to your nation? It's the British that came to amalgamate Nigeria.
How the authenticity of the declaration, everybody knows that.
It is authentic.
How? It is authentic. How is it authentic?
Why are they letting Yoruba a part of the world now?
Well,
why are they allowing people to do Ifa in this conference they did in DC of recent?
So in terms of based on all that is the reason why they hold on. So in terms of based on what you are saying is the reason why the declaration is authentic.
The declaration is authentic. Okay, now the one that we people were talking about that will declare last year. Why that declaration did not come to pass?
Well, there could be any reason. There could be any reason for that. I am asking a question. Let me rephrase the question.
Are you
hold on.
I am suffering now.
Nigeria has been suffering for a very long time. That's not the issue. The question is, what is the authenticity of that? You have not answered the question. You are just going back and forth.
Okay.
What is the authenticity? Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah.
In every Nigeria, if you take 10 people now and ask them, they will tell you that they are not Nigeria. They'll be crossing Nigeria. So you will know that Nigeria is not one anymore. People are dying every day more than what you are talking about, Buhari. The Buhari you are talking about is not Buhari that is killing people. Buhari does not know anything. Nobody should lie against Buhari. There are some people behind it.
How does that? Hold on. How does that answer the authenticity? Hold on. You are mixing things up together. Hold on. You're not listening. You got to listen. Listen first before you respond.
Yeah.
You have to listen.
Okay.
We're on the international platform here. We're not on a Bole Kaja.
Yeah.
I'm asking a question now. What is the authenticity of what you're saying? You are going back to Buhari, people died there. That is not the answer to the question. What is the authenticity, the authenticity rather, of that genuity of that declaration? Just a simple answer. You don't have to go parabolating again. I'm asking again the question. Go ahead. I'm giving you another time again. You've spent 4 minutes. You have not given me that genuity. Hold on. I'm asking the question again, and if you're not giving me the answer, I'm just going to let you go. Give me the genuine and the authenticity of that declaration. I'm asking again.
The declaration is that people abroad, all my friends abroad, the journalists and everybody I know, I've told them to go and make research, and they've gone to UN to find out whether that declaration is real or not. And the report they gave me, they said it's real. You too.
Hold on. Okay, I love that part. You said the report they gave you. Where is the evidence of that report?
Go to UN site and Google it yourself.
There's nothing there. I've been there already. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. So if you don't have the evidence to show me, and you're telling me to go there,
we are the one that. Okay, even let me tell you something.
Don't change. I can't change the topic here.
No.
Where is the evidence? Any United Nations. Yeah, I'm listening.
You believe you know you are the only one that knows. Mr. Koiki, let me tell you something. A house that divided against itself cannot stand. You call yourself a Yoruba man from Ijebu.
Hold on. All right, I'm going to let the caller go because it's parabolating, and you can see that they don't have the evidence. I've given him 5 minutes. I want the next person to call in and let's hear from your view. Thank you so much, caller. You've given 5 minutes. You couldn't prove it to us tonight. That shows a failure from your side. I gave you 5 minutes. You are a failure to the Yoruba people because you told me to go to United Nations. United Nations does not have anything on their website that says the Yoruba nation has been declared. Is a complete lie. Go ahead, the next caller quickly because the line is very busy now. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will go further to discuss my own, but I don't want to paraphrase on the last caller. Some people are mixing announcements with declaration. What they did is announcement. That's not declaration. And that what they did, we can categorize it as part of the rally that people have been doing. When they declare a nation, international organization will recognize and respond to it and ratify it.
Okay.
After the so-called YouTube declaration, how many countries come out and say we support Yoruba nation?
Okay.
So what the man is trying to cover up and add to has been existing before the social media declaration.
Okay.
They've been doing Yoruba traditional something in Nigeria and it's recognized. They've been doing all those things in Nigeria, in the name of Nigeria, and is recognized as Yoruba. Yoruba is recognized all over the world as part of Nigeria.
Okay, Bishop, hold on there. Maybe the caller, if you can do me a favor, can you send me the report of that United Nations and email it to me straight away? I'm going to read it out at info@koikimedia.com or musakalam@gmail. You told me that some journalists of your friend have gone to United Nations, they've given you a report, but you don't have that same report, and you cannot even present the report to us. It shows a failure from your side. Thank you so much for the caller, but go ahead, Bishop, we can listen to you.
And if United Nations have reports that Yoruba, it is, that doesn't mean declaration. Many of us have been writing to United Nations.
Okay.
And they have the document.
Okay.
So because United Nations, we acknowledge that we have received a couple of letters, Yoruba nation, doesn't mean you have been. If you have declared, it means that you are ready to take your government. You have your military in place, you have your economy and paratata structure in place, and you are on ground to take your place. The parallel government set to run. That is declaration. Look at what happened in Donbass, in Ukraine. They declared. And Ukraine said that we don't recognize you. Russia said we recognize you. Some 2 other countries say we recognize you. And that's why Russia is defending all those 3 countries against Ukraine. So there's nothing like that going on here. No country have already said that we want to support Yoruba nation against Nigeria. And you are saying how many countries said that they hear that? So all that is bad. Me, what I'm trying to say concerning your question, can Yoruba nation exist without Nigeria? Emphatically, yes.
Okay, straight away to the point, because there's a number of people calling. Go straight to the point.
All the Yoruba states have mineral and natural resources.
Okay.
And the entire Yoruba have a lot of human resources. Mention any state in Yoruba land that did not have experienced diplomats all around the world. Human resources, and on the ground we have mineral resources. We have gold, we have uranium, we have lithium. Ekiti is full of lithium. Why? Okay. And why Ekiti is in perpetual darkness? Okay. Lithium is used to generate electricity.
You have 1 more minute. Go ahead quickly. You have 1 more minute, because the last caller was 5 minutes. You're gonna get 5 minutes as well. Go straight to the point.
And we will be able to govern ourselves and provide a lot of company jobs for ourselves.
Okay.
And export and produce food.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The question is, the first caller said the Yoruba nation has been declared. There's evidence on that on the United Nations. I'm hearing this for the very first time, that even the United Nations have a document to back the Yoruba nation declared by this 419 woman. The question is Yoruba nation declared? Does anybody have any evidence of that? Can you send it to us straight away while we're still live, and I'll be able to read that out straight away. We have the next caller. Go straight to the question. Eliso Yoruba, Toripe Asiko Yoruba, no Niawa. If you want to speak in the mother language, which is a very beautiful language.
English, because you can share.
Go straight to the point. I'm going, sir.
My point is, then
the first caller.
Ó náà ti declare nation.
Bó ṣe sọ nìyẹn.
Pé àwọn ó dàbí ṣé Spain àbí ibo ló lóun wà pé òun ka kíní kan ní online. Ibo ló ti kà ẹjọ́ kó fún wa ní site yẹn káà tó kù lọ kà á náà.
Okay.
Kí ló sí ọpọlọ àwọn èèyàn o? Sà ẹjọ́ má bínú èmi dá sọ̀rọ̀ o. I am a master degree holder. Ogun State tí mo wà. Nígbà táwọn lecturer wa ń pọ̀ wá ń ṣẹ́.
Okay.
In fact, professor tó kọ́ mi iṣẹ́ lóṣù ó jẹ́ kó yẹ wípé òun ò kì í ṣe Nàìjíríà nǹkan lóun ó ní I am a Yoruba person, because I was not there when they marginalized 146 ethnic group. Àwọn òsín bẹ́ẹ̀ pé kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tó jẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Ó lóun ti kọ ìwé tó ti sọ pé question mark pé kò sí nǹkan tó jẹ́ Nàìjíríà. So there are so many people wọ́n dẹ̀ kọ́ àkókò àtàwọn class àpọ̀. Mi ò fẹ́ sọ orúkọ professor yẹn. Wọ́n lóṣù tó sọ pé àwọn ti gbàdá. Àyẹ̀wò Mr. Brics, ètò ẹ̀sọ́ pé ọ̀fẹ́ máa já àwọn wèrè kan dànù, ẹ já wọn dànù jà ẹ bá kọ́ máa program jẹ fún wa. Ó dàárọ̀.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni. Ṣé a ti gba Yorùbá nation? Arákùnrin tó kọ́kọ́ pè wọlé, ó ní òun communicate pẹ̀lú àwọn kan ní London. Ó ní wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ fún òun pé wọ́n ti declare Yorùbá nation. Mo ní ṣé ó mọ ibi tí evidence yẹn wà? Ó ní kémi lọ wò fúnra mi. Mo ní èmi náà ti lọ wò mo orí náà ni. Ẹ gbóhùn sókè ní kíákíá torí àsìkò. Star Radio UK láwà lórí ẹ̀ láti sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Mò ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Ẹ pàtàkì.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
Ọ̀rọ̀ máa yẹn ẹjọ́ ìrèsì kò lórí tọ́pìkì straight. Ọ̀rọ̀ máa yẹn ìrèsì
ṣé pé diversion tún níyẹn báyìí.
Ẹjọ́ tó lọ́kùn kọ́lọ́bẹ̀ ìrèsì ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká bọ́
wọ́n ní ká ìrèsì ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bá question lọ torí pé ẹ ṣe gan ni kọ́là tó pè tán. Torí pé táwọn èèyàn bá ń pè torí pé bíbá kì í mọ ẹni tó ń pè àdẹ̀mọ tí àwọn kankan fẹ́ sọ àdẹ̀m block anybody. Everybody has the right. Ìyẹn ló ṣe ń pè ní freedom of speech. Ẹgbọ́n sókè ẹni tó ń pè wá ní kíákíá à ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Hello, Jabera.
Ó tó jọ mẹ́ta, ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
Yeah, the first caller is getting it wrong. I think the first caller is in the acceptance by the UNPO as declaration. Because that's the only thing on Google.
Wọ́n tẹ̀ sọ pé UNPO wọ́n ní United Nations pé wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ká má tẹ̀tú mẹ́nu mọ́ but wọ́n mú gbọ́ yín sà ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè sà ẹ bá bínú pé mo cut off yín.
What is mistaken, because that's the only thing that you find Yoruba declaring themselves as non-part of Nigeria. So we don't currently have a country with regards to UNPO. I think that's what is confusing.
Ṣé pé àìtí ní country according to bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ yìí torí pé UNPO yẹn láti 2019 àwọn bàbá Kíntóyè dẹ̀ ló gbé wa lọ síbẹ̀ òun dẹ̀ ni mo fẹ́ kà fún yìí níwájú mi báyìí August 3rd 2020 Yoruba under the UNPO. The Yoruba people number over 44 million, making them the largest homogeneous people in Africa. The majority of this population, around 40 million, is located in Nigeria. I'm just forwarding it quickly. The organization who have joined, the organization Golokpe was a country, the organization who have joined the UNPO to see what avenue are available to have their voice heard, to assist in their quest for self-determination. The organization is an amalgamation of many Yoruba self-determination groups offering authentic representation, defense of the value, right, and demands of the Yoruba indigenous people. Bí ẹni lárakùnrin yẹn rí àbí báwo ẹgbọ́n sókè alàgbà mo ń gbọ́ yín sà.
So ní ọba Sókídé, I think that's what we saw that. I think declaration has been accepted.
Okay.
So there's no declaration. The only person that will declare for them to pay attention is Professor Banji Akintoye, because he's the only person that's been leading forefront leading this fight and struggle. So I think it's high time now that we Yoruba will speak with one voice as well with regards to what's happening in Niger. We don't support Tinubu, which is the Yoruba, into going into Niger.
Lẹ́tà tẹ̀ ti jáde lórí yẹn, bàbá Akintoye ti kọ lẹ́tà lé lórí, a máa ka lẹ́tà yẹn tí àsìkò bá gbà wá lálẹ́ yìí.
Brilliant. Because
bàbá ti kọ lẹ́tà lé lórí tó dẹ̀ ti wà lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwa mídíà káàkiri, kò ń ṣe èyí tí wọ́n náà declare pé ká tún ṣe àwọn ọmọ wá yẹn káàkiri àní láti lọ wá nǹkan kan níbi táyé délé ní. United Nations briefing, I've been listening to it since last year. Every day United Nations is doing a briefing, and they've never mentioned at any reference or any point that a Yoruba nation country has been declared out of Nigeria. I have not listened to that in the United Nations briefing. I've been listening to that for the last 1 year. Up to today, there's nothing of such.
Baba, one, they will never accept our declaration until think about that.
Well, that is exactly, you're right, because it's all about crisis. Now, I'm sorry, Lilori, you're right. Yeah.
So, tí wọ́n bá rí jẹ́ nípa tí ṣe owó wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pay attention.
Okay.
So, èyí tí Bọ́lá Tinubu ń ṣe ń sìn, ó ń serve colonial matter. Now, it's becoming very apparent who our enemies are in that Yoruba land.
Okay.
At the right time, we start documenting their names.
Okay.
So that when everything scatter, we know who we are supposed to go after. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you so much. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe ní kíákíá torí àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ pè aago 8 àbọ̀dẹ̀ la máa mẹ́tò ìpalẹ̀ nítorí pé arákùnrin tó kọ́kọ́ pè ó ti divert topic tí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Interbèrè tẹ́lẹ̀ náà ni pé ǹjẹ́ Yorùbá lè dá dúró? Mò ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín bàbá tó ń pè. Ǹjẹ́ Yorùbá lè dá dúró? Àmọ́ táwọn wá tún sọ ni pé àwọn ti declare o Yorùbá nation ó ti wà ní United Nations website. Mo ní mo gbọ́n yẹn rí. Bíyà yẹn náà tún wà lára tí wọ́n ní CCTV tó ń bẹ ní United Nations. Ó monitor àwọn tó lọ sí radio station táwọn ọmọ nípa ẹ̀. Ẹgbọ́n sókè arákùnrin tó ń pè bàbá. Mo kí engineer Babátúndé ọjọ́ kan pẹ̀lú sà ẹgbọ́n sókè ètò náà nìyẹn.
Ẹ sà gbogbo nǹkan tí màá yẹn sọ ṣé mo ẹlòmíì wà bóyá nǹkan tó kà wọ́n understand ẹ̀ bóyá ẹ mọ̀ information mi wà tẹ́lómi àkà tí ó lè wà yẹn tí ò ní understand information tó ń kà. bó tó bá jẹ́ pé jọ́yọ̀ tó ń follow wa tó ń tẹ̀lé tó ìlàtọ̀jọ́ ẹ̀ á mọ̀ pé á mọ ọ̀tún yàtọ̀ sósì.
Okay.
Ṣùgbọ́n ẹlòmíì kan wà bóyá ó bá wa lẹ́ẹ̀rin bóyá ẹlòmíì ò bọ̀ tẹ̀lé wa láti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kò mọ stage of things. Then ẹlòmíì information mi ta kàn kà ló online. Kò wá ti rú kò ní bóyá kò bí òye tó.
Bí àwọn tó máa ń blog tó máa ń lo oríṣiríṣi topic ẹ mọ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi èèyàn ló máa ń lo topic kẹ̀lé tó bá rí topic báyìí á ti gba Yorùbá nation wà rò pé nǹkan tó kọ síbẹ̀ yẹn àwọn fẹ́ fi àwọn need to click lórí fídíò yẹn. So anybody that sees those kind of videos they will rush to it, they will click on it and you realize that there's nothing in there kò sí content kankan nínú ẹ̀ but it's understandable.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ṣùgbọ́n tó bá jẹ́ ẹni tó ń tẹ̀lé ètò yìí tó jẹ́ ẹni tó ń tẹ̀lé wa láti gbà yín lọ á mọ̀ pé yóò tẹ̀lé sọ fún details ibi tá a dé wàá lè ní idea ibi tá a wà.
Oda ẹ ṣé gan ni
understand ibi tá a wà.
Thank you so much tó lásìkò ni. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ń pè àtẹ̀yìntẹ́ tó fẹ́ pè tí ẹ máa pè wọlé líǹkì UNPO yẹn mo ti fi síta lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí bàbá wa Adéọ̀sùn Timothy, mo kí gbogbo àwọn GR1, mo kí obìnrin, mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà. Ìbéèrè tá à ń béèrè ni pé ṣé Yorùbá lè dá dúró nínú Nàìjíríà tí a bá dá kúrò tí a lè dá dúró on our own Can we stand on our own? Bishop Adesina ní àdìdádúró ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè ní kíákíá. Ẹ bá mute background, ẹ bá mute background please. Ètò nìyẹn, ẹ go ahead because we are 14 minutes away to the end of the program. Okay. 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 Bíá media ti Turkey ló ń follow, ó lè máa follow media Turkey tó náà ti gba nation, ó dẹ̀ possible. Okay, inú Mirage, ìyàwó ni wọ́n ń gbé nínú Mirage. Okay, ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo máa ń kí gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń pè ẹ ṣì lásìkò díẹ̀ láti pè wọlé láti bá wa dá sí ètò tó ń bẹ lórí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tá à ń bá lọ yìí nítorí pé ètò tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí ó kan èmi ó kan ìwọ ó kan ọmọdé ó kan àgbàlagbà ó kan arúgbó gan sef. Yes we can àmọ́ ṣáti gba country àìtí gba country ṣáṣe ń ṣe awareness lọ yes la ṣe ń ṣe awareness lọ ṣá ń wá diplomacy à ń wá ṣá ń wá negotiation à ń wá ṣé à ń wá pé ká jà àwa ká jà àmọ́ tíjà bá dé kí la máa ṣe sí torí pé Tinubu lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ó ti ń gbéjà lọ sí Niger. Bàbá Akíntóyè ní àmọ́ kankan nípa ìjà yẹn o a sọ nípa ẹ̀ díẹ̀ nísìn ẹgbọ́n sókè bá pè.
Bọ́dà mi Láyọ̀mí Koiki.
Welcome on board.
Ẹ̀wọ̀ kọ́lọ́ọ̀jẹ̀ kẹ́mi kó gùn. Sẹ́rí máa tó kọ́kọ́ pè tó ń gba nu yamayama lẹ́kan yẹn. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ padà lọ gbọ́ tẹ́ ẹ bá ti parí program yìí ẹ lọ gbọ́ voice máa yẹn. Ẹ máa notice bí ìgbà tó kọ́kọ́ pè yìí ó kọ́kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò nẹ́ ṣẹ́wọ̀n ó kàn ń sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú pé ó ń lo English ó wá dé àárín kan ó kàn change òun ni.
Okay.
Ẹ máa mọ̀ pé ara àwọn tí wọ́n rán wá láti gbogbo kó wá tá because wọ́n ti rí pé gbogbo àwọn point tẹ̀ ń jù sílẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n affect àwọn èèyàn ó dẹ̀ ń ṣí àwọn èèyàn níyè.
Okay.
Tí ìbá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ síbẹ̀ ní pé kó mú evidence wá ṣé ó rí evidence kan mú wá ni. Tó bá jẹ́ wípé èmi wá sọ pé tó bá wá jẹ́ wípé àwọn èèyàn kan sì gan bí wá pé wọn ò tó ẹ táwọn mi ò rò èmi tòmí brother Koiki tòmí mo believe pé kò sí ẹ̀dá kan brother Koiki, to me, mo believe in pé kò sí ẹ̀dá kan